Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
We changed the truth for God into a lie. In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's claws, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai.
Hebrew Israelites, Kwam Yasha.
It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome to another class with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. I'm Kazakia. We're going to get class started today, and we're going to start out with a question or two. I want to go into this topic. You see, we've been trying to get through a few of these classes, because questions will take up the whole time also. But if y'all got something quick, something really straight to the point, we can go ahead and send your questions in. Let's see here. What was that? Let's see. If you don't know by now, we are at 8524 South Braeswood. We've been over here for about 10 years now in this location. And we actually are in the talks to moving. So look out for that. We found something that which is not too far up the way. So hopefully it goes through. We'll let y'all know if we do move into this other location. We'll let y'all know if we do move. But as right now, we're at 8524 South Braeswood. We have classes in San Antonio, Texas. We have some brothers in Albuquerque, New Mexico also, if you're interested in class. One of the big events that we're already preparing for, because remember, it was just the new year, right?
God.
Like yesterday. Now it's the, 15th, 16th? It's going to be flying. So we're already preparing for the Pesach, which is the Passover, which is on 4/21, okay? And whoever wants to help out with that, we're collecting for the deposit, we're collecting for the location, we're collecting for the lamb. So if y'all want to put in for that, we would appreciate it. I'll say it again. I don't want nobody to get spooky, because you know Israelites get spooky. You know what I mean? I'm not going. I can't give no money. That's not what the Passover's about. Y'all still, if you feel you're coming to our Passover, you're welcome to come through. But we do ask if you got to help. Our classes are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 7:10. Shabbat morning class is from 10 to 2. All right. We have sisters class, kids class, ISBHPK Kids on ISBHPK Kids. You can check that on that YouTube channel. So you can just see how the sisters deal with the different topics with the children. We also have our local cable show. This is on Comcast channel 17 on Tuesdays at 8:30. All right, so please, get the word out. You know, there's a lot of people. There's a few brothers and sisters that have been to class from the cable show. So get that word out. It is online also, but you can go to hmstv.org on Tuesdays at 8:30, and you can click on the live stream, and you can check that out. We also post them on YouTube after we edit them. So That's on there. Mashaba's still doing the blog talk radio. And we got, there's a lot on there, a lot of old classes. blogtalkradio.com/MASHAHBA Monday through, well, no, just go on there. It's /blogtalkradio/Mashaba. I think they changed the days, but it's at 9:30. And if you click on there, you can get all the old classes and all that. All right. Right now, Israel Ware is no longer taking orders because we're going to be, the sisters, well, not we, but the sisters are going to be working on the garments. So, if you are coming to the Passover and you want a Passover garment, then that's what we're doing, okay? All right, my number's on the screen, Quatzazop number on the screen, and you can also check us out on ISBHPK, isbhpk.org. All right, if you want to give to the Passover, the school, or help out any monetary, you can go ahead and get the information when it comes on there. So, all right, let's do this. Does anybody got any questions? Anybody got any questions real quick before we go into this topic? This is one of the topics we said we would be going over, and I wanna do that now. Just go over the topic of marriage, the steps of marriage. But let's see if we got any questions before that. And this is going into kind of more of a detailed steps of marriage. So y'all don't got no question, right? La?
La.
Alright, see if anybody online got any questions. If not, we'll go right into this topic. Anything?
La.
Okay. Oh, what did he call? Oh, that must be okay, yeah, because this is a good topic, man. That way y'all get the ammo. Y'all have the ammo, and you know without a shadow of a doubt what it is to marry, what it is to be in marriage. Because a lot of people think that I can go date somebody and then just have sex with them. You know what I mean? And then that's fine, and then I go from them to the next person, right? That's not according to the commandments. That's not according to the law. So y'all gonna be able to see what are the steps of marriage and how to get married. What was the ceremony? What we wore. We're gonna go over all of that. So just trying to procrastinate a little bit until y'all to see if anybody got any questions online. If not, I'm gonna go right into it. All right, Sis, you had anything? No questions?
No.
I asked the brothers already. They said they didn't have nothing. So. Yeah, go ahead.
Someone just made a comment. They said the government shut down its prophecy.
Is it a comment or a question?
It's a comment.
Okay.
Ronnie.
Yeah. All right, so nobody got any question on there? Right. Nothing? Nada? All right, let's go into this topic. Let's go to, oh, wait a minute, hold on a second. Let's go to, And I got this one, put this one the other day too, but I want to throw this one in there. Scriptures start popping. Go to Proverbs. Who said that? No, it's actually Ecclesiasticus. Which one you had?
Oh, me? I just opened up the Proverbs 13:20.
Oh, okay. Go to Ecclesiastes 36 verse 24 real quick. This one popped in my head. I didn't add it, but I want this one in there. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 36 and verse 24.
Right, Ecclesiastes 36:24. Go ahead.
God, he that getteth a wife begetteth a possession, a help like unto himself.
No, that's not it. Hold on a second. Yeah, it is Proverbs. Proverbs 18 and 22.
Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 22.
Yeah, scratch the first one out. Let's put this one in there. Proverbs 18 and 22. Go ahead, read that.
God, whoso findeth a wife, findeth a good thing.
Right. So, it's good to have a wife. There's nothing wrong with it. When you go into what Paul was talking about when he said, if you don't need it, then you don't need it. If you don't need a wife, you don't need a husband, that's good too. That's even better because you don't have to deal with the problems, the situations, the battling, right? The back and forth, right? If you can keep yourself to be a virgin, I can't. You know what I mean? Some of y'all can't. But if you can, there's nothing wrong with that. So read it again.
Whoso findeth a wife, findeth a good thing.
Yeah.
And obtaineth favor of the Lord.
And obtaineth favor of the Most High. So there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong to marry. There's nothing wrong to have a husband. It's not wicked to have a wife. It's not wicked to desire that. It's okay. The Most High is with it. Y'all get that? But there's a proper way. There's proper ways you're supposed to go about to do it, right? Outside of what the white man has told us. And we're going to see a lot of what the white man does. He stole it from Israel and made it and revised it and made it through the style of Christianity. Go to Hebrews 13 and 4. So, some of these scriptures, man, y'all gonna be like, that we go over is gonna really it's really enlightening on what the Most High did. A lot of you young cats, I heard we got a lot of young brothers watching too. Teenager young brothers, is that y'all gotta understand, when you start dealing with these young girls, you're either gonna make a whore out of them, which the Most High, which is against the commandments, or you're gonna take them on to be your wife, to be your woman, and deal with them. So we know the law says don't make a whore of the daughter of Zion. Don't be sleeping around with them. Then you dump them, and then they go get another man, and then he sleeps around with them. Now this young lady is running around and being a whore. You got to stay away from that. See, the Most High don't want that. What's up?
Was the link sent out in the Hangouts?
It wasn't? Okay, go ahead. Read on.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4.
Hebrews 13 and verse 4. So, having a wife is a good thing. Go ahead.
Con. Marriage is honorable in all.
What?
Marriage is honorable in all.
Right. So, it's nothing wrong with marriage. It's honorable. Okay? So, this is another scripture that has been twisted so brothers can defile themselves. So marriage is honorable, right? When you get a wife, there's nothing wrong with that. It's good. Some brothers need wives. When you get up in the basketball, football, they tell a lot of those young cats, man, get you a woman. Why? Because all the little hoochies that be trying to get with them, now you got a you got something, a lawsuit. Oh, he raped me. Right?
Done.
He took it. Right? Or you popping around so many of these women that you get something. That'll cut your career short quick. So they're told, listen, get you a wife. Get a woman. That's why you watch a lot of these bad. And I'm not saying they stick to it. That's not why I'm saying that. I'm saying that to say that is because that slows you down. A lot of these cats, Israel has been taught to be a player. They've been taught to be a pimp. You're a Mac. Right? The Most High ain't dealing with that. Now, this class ain't over a man having more than one wife. But when you look at Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they weren't doing what brothers were doing. You know, we have to be taught how the Bible, how they did it. You understand? And how, they dealt with their wife or wives. You know what I mean? It wasn't what brothers are doing. You know what I mean? I just deal with any old broad, or you my wife, and then, next 6 months later you broke up. That's how America does it, right? All the rappers, right? Oh, you my wife, marry you. 6 months later, you get an annulment. Why? Because, we didn't get along. Irreconcilable, how did it say?
Irreconcilable
differences, yeah. That's what you see. Now, you see all the rappers with the R&B chicks, and then they passing them around like a piece of steak. Everybody done had a piece of Sierra. She was with Bow Wow. She was with 50 Cent. And she's with Future, right? Then she came back and Russell Wilson got a piece of it. Now she's calmed down, right? And Lord knows who in between there. But the point is that the children. Give me that one too. Make not a harlot of the daughters of Zion. Give me read on in this.
Come. Marriage is honorable in all,
right?
And the bed undefiled.
Yeah. See, okay. I want you to tell me. We're at Hebrews. I want you to, and this is like Yeshaya says all the time, there's a lot of brothers got to get their GED. They got to go back to school and learn how to read. Okay, where are you at?
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4.
And I'm saying that because as you read it, I know y'all thinking, well, I get it. But no, a lot of brothers don't get it. Okay, so marriage is honorable in all. And what's after that all?
Comma.
What does a comma denote?
Pause.
Pause, right? Pause for what? What is it pausing for?
For the following statement.
For the following statement, right?
Come.
Why? Because now I'm going to further edify you on the point, right?
Come.
Okay, marriage is honorable in all.
Comma.
Pause. Right?
Pause.
Go ahead.
And the bed undefiled.
You see that? And the bed undefiled. They read it all in one sentence, and they're saying, oh, marriage is honorable. It's a bed undefiled. No, it's saying and a bed undefiled. You see that?
God.
So you don't read that and say marriage is honorable or a bed undefiled. It says and, meaning that marriage is honorable, But when the bed is undefiled, right?
Con.
If it's defiled, you're having threesomes. Marriage is not honorable. Yeah, a lot of them think that. A lot of people ask that. Do y'all sleep in the same? Like, no. What the hell we look like? You know, the buddy wrench. No. Israelites, you don't supposed to be sleeping with your women in the same bed. All right, you don't supposed to do that. You don't supposed to see each other naked. Yeah, that's in the law. You the other person. You get what I mean.
The other wife.
The other wife, right? You're not supposed to do that. It's defiled. What you was gonna say?
I was gonna ask what was the meaning behind the bed being undefiled, but you stated it
Right.
as
Yeah, you're bringing in bats, your drills, right? The bed, talking about our bed is clean. No, it's not. Now you're defiling.
Con.
You're defiling it. It's getting weird now.
Got con. I was
You know
gonna
what I
say, so it's basically anything that is not pertaining to regular sexual.
Exactly. So you got to keep that bed undefiled, because remember, one time you didn't have to explain that. But what happened? America came out with porn. Pornography skewed the mentality, right, of how to lay with a woman, and you now try to lay with a woman like the white man does. You want to put it in her ear, you want to put it in her toes, you want to put it in everything that it don't belong in.
Crevice.
Right, because the white man, he's the same guy that taught you how to sleep with a dog, a horse, a whale, a snake, a fish.
Con.
You ain't never had that fish poontang? The white man has.
Get that blowhole.
Yeah. It's disgusting, but
God.
this is the reality of it. You know, that dealing with animals and dealing with bestiality. So marriage is honorable, a bed undefiled. You think when they say, "Oh, I'm a marry my plastic dog,"
Con.
it's like, you know what? See, that's undefiled. He's married. Because he gets a piece of paper, that's honorable? No, that's defiled.
Con.
Right?
Con.
It's sickening. But these are the things that we got to keep out of our bedroom. We got to keep out of our bedroom so we can keep it undefiled. Remember when you were a child and you thought kissing was bad, right?
Con.
See, you had a pure outlook on sexual relations until you start what? Listening to niggas.
That's where you going.
Yeah, you start listening to your uncle, you start listening to the people with defiled minds. Then you start engrafting those things in, and you start defiling the bed, you start defiling your mind, you start defiling her mind. Right?
Con.
That's why when they do these threesomes, what happened? Next you know, she leave her for her. She leave him for her. Right? Why are you leaving me? She treats me better. What you think was going to happen? Because you open her mind up to the dark side, right? And this effeminate spirit broke her. Same thing with lesbianism, homosexuals, men with men, right? It's defiled. Y'all get this?
God.
So, go ahead, read on.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
Right, so there you go. Once again, whoremongers, right? You're being a whoremonger. Now what is a whore? What is a monger? What is a monger? Look up monger. So I had to look this up. You got to look it up. What is a whoremonger?
God. Denoting a dealer or trader.
Right, a dealer or trader. Now let's think about this. Were these brothers pimps? Was he talking about a pimp?
Con.
He was. But were these cats pimps he was talking to? No. So in the context of what he was saying what? you're dealing with them. You starting to deal with these whores, right?
Con.
Now, what is a whore? Because you would say, well, a whore is somebody that get paid money for sexual relations, right? Nowadays, what is a whore?
Anyone that's sexually with multiple partners.
Right, there you go. That's why he said, whoremongers and adulterers, the Most High will judge. Y'all see that? So, you don't supposed to be popping from whore to whore. You're a whoremonger. The Most High say you're going to judge because you're defiling your body, right? You're destroying yourself. You're yielding your members. In essence, truthfully, you are more carnal minded because those are the things that control you is the flesh. Yeah.
It said, one definition said, in particular says, to pursue a faithless, unworthy, or idolatrous desire.
There you go. Whoremongers. And that's why he calls us spiritually, he calls us adulterers, whores, right? So it could be spoken on in both contexts, spiritual and physical. We know it's in both contexts here also.
Right.
So you don't supposed to be a whoremonger. See, marriage is a good thing. So get a woman. You don't have to pop around. You don't have to do those things. But now you got to know how to get a woman. Right? What?
So another definition for that monger
Uh-huh.
is a person who promotes a specified activity or situation or feeling, especially one
That's it. Where'd you get that one from?
from the front page.
Oh, nice. Say that. Read that one again. That's it.
Yeah. A monger, a person who promotes a specified activity.
There you go. So you're promoting what? Read with the scripture I asked you to get.
Con. Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 29.
Go ahead and read it, Mark. Yeah. Read it, Mark, because you.
I gotta do
Go
it.
ahead, read that.
Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Do not what?
Prostitute thy daughter.
Do not prostitute your daughters. Now, in this time, y'all gotta wake the hell up and think. The white man has already done that. The black woman has already done that. The Mexican woman has already done that. And they do it not just for no money. They prostitute him. Oh, he's a good man. Go ahead, girl. Go ahead, get his number. Look at his chin. Oh, you have sex. Oh, man, you have babies with him. Oh, his hair's going to come out right. You know what I mean? Look at him. He's cute. He's this, he's that. Oh, he got a nice car. Ooh, girl, go have. Yeah, that's the one right there. They're not thinking of, this guy's a maniac. He's a killer. He's a psychopath. They're not thinking that he's going to choke me out every time I get online and he's over possessive. Right? They're not thinking of these things. So, where are you at?
Leviticus 19 verse 29.
Go ahead.
Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Do not what?
Prostitute thy daughter.
Do not prostitute thy daughter. You over here, you putting her in the Hollywood movie industry, and guess what? You know, it's funny, I didn't watch it, but it pops up on the YouTube feed, but it was Jada Pinkett talking about she's glad that she was overprotective with, what's her name? What's her daughter's name? Willow. She was overprotective with her when R. Kelly was around. I guess they were doing their little.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, and I just looked at it. I didn't really go into it, but that's how Hollywood is. That's how the music industry is. Now, that's how they are in the regular street. 12, 13-year-old, what are they doing? Prostituting.
Done.
Hold on 1 second.
I also have another scripture for you, sir.
Yeah. Right, so y'all see that, right? This is what happens, man. They prostitute our daughters, huh? And it's filthy, it's disgusting. And where's your hand in it? That's what I think about it. I'm like, dang. I always think about the past. I'm like, I could have dealt with that different. I could have did this right. I had the wisdom. I should have did this different and that different. See? Now you got to repent. You got to go back. You got to mend. You got to fix. Right?
God.
But if you keep doing that, the Most High say He's going to judge you, right?
God.
Go ahead, read on.
To cause her to be a whore.
To what?
Cause her
Stop. To what?
Cause her.
You see this? You prostituting by what? Causing her to be a whore. So you left her, right? And then she's with this other guy. She's with this other guy. She's a whore. See, we supposed to be stopping the adultery, the whoremonger in the nation of Israel. We supposed to be stopping that. But what is that going to take?
Marriage.
That's going to take marriage, and that's going to take us not jumping in the bed with every woman.
Come on.
Right?
God.
Because that's what brothers do. Well, they all wicked, You're wicked too, but the Most High chose you. And He set you apart, right?
God.
How did He set you apart? We'll touch on it just a little bit before we get deep into this marriage class. Go ahead, read.
Lest the land fall to whoredom.
See, lest the land fall to what?
Whoredom.
See? And what has the black communities fell to? Whoredom. All the black women and all the Hispanic women, every Instagram, every snap is all about yoga pants,
Breast
thongs.
out. Breast out.
Yeah, I go online and I'm like, try to look for my back, how to work out my back. And, you search the rabbit hole, work out your back this way, and this is good for your back. You slip into Colombian chicks working out. It's like, so you ain't going to have on nothing. These chicks got on a tube top and booty. And I'm like, so what does this have to do with the workout?
Nothing.
But this is all across the world that our women, right? They're just pieces of meat. And what the white man do? He go to Colombia, he go to Honduras, and what? Anal sex. Give them AIDS, right?
God.
And now you got these countries over there, defiled, whore. Now all these beautiful women, you're like, whoa, there's beautiful women over there. They all been turned out by the so-called white man because he came in and he wanted to have them. I'm going to give you $1 million to have sex with, not even $1 million, I'm sorry. I'm going to give you $100 to have sex with this donkey.
Yep.
Right?
God.
It falls to whoredom. You want to be a part of that?
Well,
You want to be part of the nation of Israel? Your daughters, remember, our daughters are going to fall to the same circumstance. You reap what you sow. They're going to fall to the same circumstance. That's how you got to think. I know when you're young, you're thinking like, bruh, you know what I mean? I'm just going, right? Nah. They're going to fall. You're going to have a daughter. And then you're going to try to be over righteous, right? And guess what? She's going to fall to that circumstance because you reap what you sow. Right? I'm telling y'all. So this is what the scriptures, why the Most High warns us from this. What you was going to say? You got one?
God.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17.
Deuteronomy 23:17. Go ahead.
God, there shall no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite, nor the sons of Israel.
Go ahead. Break it down.
So, reiterating on what we talked about in Leviticus, so that the Most High, He already ordained us not to have our daughters being whoremongers, selling themselves for sex, and then that our men shouldn't be selling themselves with other men to create and perpetuate that sodomy as well.
Right. There you go. And that's what you got to think about it. So it ain't the white man no more. It's what? It's our neighborhood. Thug music. I was getting on that the other day, right? The thug music. We had to get on this brother talking about it's okay to call your woman a beat, right? Because why? It's that mentality that is going to get your daughters to fall to whorism. That thug, street, ghetto, worldly mentality has them fall to what?
Boredom.
I'm a pimp. I'm a player. You're right? And, you know, I'm just dealing with these hoes. She's a thought anyway, right? Niggerism, man. It's madness. And now we got the whole nation falling like the Gentiles. Y'all get this, right? So the scriptures is telling us we got to stay away from that, man. Now, how does a man in this time, right, stay away from being a whoremonger? How does he get better at not being a whoremonger? How? What would you do? What steps? Before we get into this class, I just want to get this one out of the way. What steps would a man do to make sure he's not constantly laying with women after women and women after women? What would he do? Go ahead, Major. What you got?
I was gonna say, try to find a wife.
Try to find a wife.
Yeah.
Okay, you found a girl, right?
Con.
How would I know whether to make this woman my wife or not? What's the first step scripturally that comes to mind?
Virtuous woman.
Okay, virtuous woman.
Yeah, right.
Virtuous woman. Good one. Good one. So you're looking for a virtuous woman, right?
Con.
Okay. All right. So what has to happen to know?
You grind.
Hold on. Don't. I'm not calling you for a reason. Because you got all the answers. Con, I know that, bro. You got all the answers.
He said that.
I know you didn't. I'm saying you know. You know better. Yeah, you know the scriptures. I'm trying to see what they think first before you come with the answer. So, you're right. Looking for a virtuous woman, right?
Con.
What do you think? So, you found a virtuous woman. What has to happen? What?
You asking questions?
Right, which means you have to do what? Talk, right? I know it's so simple, right?
Con. I'm thinking of like, okay.
You're thinking something deep, huh?
Con.
You're thinking something deep. It's not. A lot of times, we don't even talk with these women.
I would just go straight to bed.
We just go put you to bed,
Con.
right?
Con.
Right. What were you going to say, Mark?
Ecclesiasticus 6 and 7.
Yeah, that's where we're going to go. That's why I didn't call on you, because I know you know what the scripture said. You was going to say something, sis? Go ahead.
So what is a virtuous woman?
That's a whole nother class. A virtuous woman is a righteous woman. A virtuous woman is a righteous woman. But to edify more, we would be veering off of the topic. But a virtuous woman is a righteous woman. And when I say veering off the topic, meaning how I would want to go about it is, being that you're new, is go into all the scriptures over what is a virtuous woman. Because there's a characteristic. You can't just say I'm a virtuous woman and not fulfill the character and standard of a virtuous woman. So there's a character that you have to become to call yourself that virtuous woman, right? So, but going back to relationships, usually our relationships go sour because what we didn't do in the beginning was Ecclesiasticus 6 verse 7. Read that.
If thou wouldst get a friend, prove him first.
Do what?
Prove him first.
If thou was what?
If thou wouldst get a friend,
Go ahead.
prove him first.
If you would get a friend, and your woman is supposed to be your friend, that ain't talking about that. You know the brothers that keep telling me that? They keep doing stupid stuff and keep getting the wrong woman. Y'all try to outwise the Most High. Y'all try to outwit the Most High. And it be the same brother. That's talking about a friend, Well, what is your woman supposed to be? My woman. Okay, let's see if that keeps you making the right decision. It be the same brothers. What's up, she just off again, You know what I mean? She just wicked, But that's number 4 you keep saying that about. Because you didn't sit down and take time to prove her. So you got to talk. Right? We're going to get into that conversation about betrothal, espousal. Right? We're going to get into those words. But a lot of times you don't sit down and, hey, I was raped. Right? I was taken advantage of. And you coming with that Hebrew Israelite bravado and gangster, rah, rah, rah. And you're like, listen, get in order. And she's like, see, you two, see, my mama, my daddy used to whoop my mama. And see, I can't deal with that. But you didn't know that because you did what? You were mongering and you went and just tapped it. You didn't sit down and talk. And then what you keep saying? Oh, she's wicked, she's off. Her spirit ain't right. There's something wrong with her. Where you headed? I'm headed over her house again, Right, because I beheld among the youth the simple ones, void of understanding. Right? You're void of understanding. You don't get it. That you're going to keep doing that in life. Right? And then now you're part of that sin. So what does it say?
If thou wouldest get a friend,
Prove
him first.
Right. So this is one of the scriptures we always talk about. If you're going to date, because that's the first thing you're supposed to be doing as a Hebrew Israelite, date the person. Right? Don't just meet them over the internet because they got a do-rag and they got a head wrap, and then you know y'all already consummated. No, you got to know this person. You got to talk to them. Does the Most High just anoint you? No. He's got to do what? How are you getting the kingdom? By him proving you. How are you getting to sit on 12 thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel? By him proving you. You don't just, it ain't like the Christian said. All you do is say you believe, and next you know, you're up there with Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and all them. You got to be proven. How do we know each other? Prove each other. How do you know I'm a brother? How do I know you're a brother? Because it says a brother's born through adversity. Right?
Done.
Hey, I'm down and out. I need this. I need counsel. I need brotherhood. I need love. Oh, I'm busy. That ain't no friend. That ain't no brother. Right? But so the Most High says, know them that labor amongst you, right? So we start to get to know each other the more we're around each other, and then we start to prove each other. Right? Oh, I can depend on this brother. He's a brother. He's there for me. When I need counsel, he was there. When I broke over my rib, he was there. When they took my kids, he was there. When I messed up, he was there. That's a brother. That's a sister. Right?
Done.
Same thing with a woman. You see how you would never notice when you jump right into bed with them? Because they're all sweet. They're all sweet. Yes, my Lord. What can I do for you? You know what I mean? They bring you dinner at the mall, right? You know what I mean? They try to massage you, right? They try to do all that, but go ahead and lay with her. It's open. Right? They start switching up, changing. Men and women, though. It's men and women. He loses it, right? All the things you were supposed to be able to show her that she was going to have to partake in, you were supposed to tell her that ahead of the time. Right? But you didn't. So this is the mistakes. Trust me, we've all made them. We've all made them. From me on down, I've made them many of times. But when I became a man, I had to put away childish things. Right? When we got this wisdom, we have to understand, man, the Most High don't want us to be making the daughters of Zion whores, and you women, he don't want you to be whores. So you got to prove a friend. Go ahead.
And be not hasty to credit him.
So, what is the biggest problem with Israel? What?
We're quick to credit somebody.
You're hasty in everything you do.
that's a good woman.
You don't think nothing through. You don't think nothing through. You don't know this chick is crazy and deranged.
She righteous, man.
You didn't know he was a psychopath. She done got multiple personality disorder, and you do what? Oh no, bro, she's pure. Look at that behind, right? No, girl, look at him. Look at those guns. When this nigga done broke his last woman's front teeth all out.
With them guns.
Well, right? With them guns, right? With those abs. But you didn't see because you didn't do what? You didn't prove a friend. So y'all see this, right? So finish that. Go ahead.
For some, man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble.
You see that? You get this person, you didn't know if she was committed or not. You didn't know if he was committed or not. Right? You have in no way proved and said, man, they believe in the Bible. You know how many brothers get with women and don't even ask them that? That's the first thing you're supposed to ask. You believe in the Bible? I'm not really religious. But you fine though. Right?
The girl you formed.
Right. Your whole conversation is carnal. It's fleshly. And you get what you desire, right?
God.
Which is you want the flesh, you get the flesh, and the spirit is destroyed. And I'm not saying you're gonna get somebody that's perfect, but don't you want to know somebody's problems before you get in there? Don't you want to know, like, if she's split or he's split, 21 different personalities? I mean, you got to know the risk before you get in there. Everybody's going to have problems, especially you men. You're going to have to go in there and heal, bind up wounds. You're going to have to go in and heal their mind, heal their spirit, and deal with their issues while you're cleaning yourself up. Then you women, once again, you got it really hard because a lot of women want to deal with men that even got the knowledge. You got to really be careful because you be thinking, yeah, I'm going to get him a class. Right? I'm going to get him a class. And then what? He come to class until he hits it and be like, nah, I ain't messing with you niggas. You know how many times that's happened? One sister was getting all these cats to come to class. It was so funny, man. So sad. But they was coming to class for the wrong thing. And we for real. We like, Most High, get right. Get your spirit right. They sitting there like, I'm here for her. And then what happens? When they hit it, they end up being gone. Because that's all they wanted. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So y'all got to see, man. This is real. You got to prove a friend. You got to talk. You got to communicate. Same thing with brothers. You be like, yeah, you know what? Before we deal, I want you to get in class. You know what I mean? I want you to get this knowledge. Man, she went to she's been in class for a whole week. I couldn't help myself.
That was sweet.
Like a whole week, huh? You held out. You really had discipline, huh? You really held out, huh? Nah. Your lust got a hold of you. Your lust got a hold of you. What?
I was gonna say, because you said you had said the conversation. Well, I'm an atheist, but the scriptures also talk about the devil. The devil knows. They know the Most High in nature.
Oh, you talking about the one? There was a one brother. He was dealing with this one girl. She was a little young Issacharite, and he was like, yeah, I want you to meet her. He invited me to dinner with her. He's in the tribe of Judah. She was a little young Issacharite, very tender, right? Of age. Man, I sat there, I was like, don't do it, Why? Because the first thing she said was she don't believe in God. I was like, as soon as you do this, bro, You don't do it, But the problem is that brothers ain't thinking about that. They're thinking about the meat. And then what happens then? What's the point of that? When nothing else happens after that. You slept with her, then what?
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's all you got. If you really wanted it to last, if we really want these relationships to last, the best thing you can do is establish a friendship in the beginning. I know it sounds like a cartoon.
Nah, you on point, huh?
Yeah, but remember when our elders and elders, the elders passed, they dated. That's what you got to do.
Courtship.
Court. We're gonna get into all that too. I just want to touch on these few. What's up? Yeah.
Oh, well, I looked up the definition for hasty,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just going into what you were saying. It says, hasty says, rapid in action or movement, done or made in a hurry, fast or typically superficial, acting too quickly or overly eager.
Acting too quickly or overly eager. You like the little dog with the red little thing sticking out. You like a freaking heat. A dog without warning.
Like Thumper.
Yeah. And it's like, what's wrong with you? But that's how you know there's demons. There be demons on you. That all you want is sex. The flesh got a hold of you. You know what I mean? You ain't got no control. Those are spirits, man. So that I'm glad you looked that up. Finish that. Read on.
And there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife.
Okay, so go from there. Go to. That's good on that. Go to Ecclesiastes 19:4.
Ecclesiastes chapter 19 and verse 4.
Ecclesiastes 19:4. Read it.
He that is hasty to give credit is light-minded.
Right. You see that? You like a bubbly-eyed blonde. Bimbo. That's not the word I was gonna say, but right.
Beast.
That's not the one I was gonna say either, but I'll use those two. You like a bubbly-eyed blonde bimbo because you're too hasty. You're like you don't sit back and you don't think. You don't. She got 4 baby daddies. She got 30 kids. She's a stripper, right? Ex-stripper. He's an ex-drug dealer. Supposedly, he quit the other day.
Part-time.
Right? He still live with his mama, but he's selling drugs. No, he's moving weight. Nigga's moving weight, but he lives with his mama.
He moving keys.
He's saving the money up so he can buy a taco truck and be legit.
But live with his mama.
No, he trying to get a studio so he can be a rapper. Stop it. We in Houston, man.
That's right.
Tell the truth. You trying to be a
He's
rapper.
always going down. Go ahead, read.
And he that sinneth shall offend against his own soul.
Why? Because he that is hasty to give credit is light-minded. Light-minded. You're not thinking.
Simple as hell.
You're bubble-headed. Y'all get that?
God.
So that's one of the biggest problems when dealing with relationships. You're too quick to credit. You're too quick to give a person, and our people, some of our people, man, don't even care. Some of our people don't even care what type of person they are or what type of person they're finna deal with. So y'all see this?
God.
Go to Proverbs 29:20. Read that.
Proverbs 29:20.
Go ahead.
Seest thou a man that is hasty in his word?
Right.
There is more hope of a fool than of a man.
Yo, bro. How long you been talking to her, bro? I've been talking to her for like 2 months, Man. Oh, yeah? Oh, really? How many dudes she been with? Oh, I didn't ask that yet. Have she been to a psych ward? Nah, I didn't ask that, I didn't ask that. You know, think about what you're asking this woman. And I'm being funny on the psych ward, but it's almost like you gotta ask that these days. It's almost like you have to ask that these days. You know, you gotta know what about their life, how they grew up, because those are the problems you're gonna have to deal with when they're your wife. Right? So read it again.
Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words?
Uh-huh.
There is more hope of a fool than of him.
Right. You see, there's more hope than a fool for you trying to quickly credit these women or men, and you haven't sat down and checked them out and proved them. Like we tell brothers, man. You know, what's she about? Did you find that out? What's going on in her mind? Where's her last boyfriend? A lot of y'all, she ain't got a man. She just broke up with him 2 months ago. He's still thinking they together. But you what? You slide in and you think you changing the world. Well, she said she ain't got a man. One minute you saying that, and the next minute you know how they be lying. Which one is it? You believe her or don't? You see, you put yourself in situations because, like it says, you're hasty with your words, you're hasty with your judgments, you're going to do foolish things. You understand that? The wisdom gives us on how to deal. The knowledge tells us how to move. That way when we get these women, or we start these women deal with men, we can judge correctly. Y'all get this? Okay. All right, so did y'all have any questions on that? Did we have any questions on that point right there? That's it on that. Nothing on there? So let's go to
I have some. It's not a question though.
Yeah, what's that?
You know, like how you were saying about being hasty and talking to them and getting to know their past and everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know, that gives you the opportunity to find out if this is something that you could actually deal with in the long term.
Yeah.
If you got enough in you to pull and strip down all that's in her to build her up.
Right.
And it made me think about the scripture in Luke 14:28, where it says, for which of you, intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first and count the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it.
Right.
You know, saying that, you know, like if you're gonna sit down and deal with this woman, you gotta actually find out what you're getting yourself into.
Uh-huh.
And if you can't do that, and you're too hasty to just jump into the sack and think that she's gonna automatically, because you give the rod of correction, she's just gonna all of a sudden be twinkled from that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're being a fool.
You're not giving no rod of correction.
Right.
Especially no harlot. Trust me, she had many rods, and they still ain't corrected her.
Satan can't cast out Satan.
Then, sisters, at the same time, you start dealing with these crazy ass, overbearing, overpowering, overpossessive men that the first thing you should already know is this Hebrew Israelite cat is serious. That's the first thing you women should be saying. That I'm watching this guy. I'm watching their classes. He's serious. Do I want to deal with somebody that's serious? Am I going to jump into this? And then next you know, he what? He talking about, you need to wear a dress. You need to do this. You need to do this. You need to do this. You see what happens when we move too fast? Yeah, you're right. It's definitely us sitting down and understanding that we're finna go to war. You finna go to war with that old woman. You finna go to war with that old man. Or you gotta understand what the new man is requiring. You see? Yeah, it's destructive, man. We done destroyed a lot of people. Our nation is destructive to each other because we don't know the real process of marriage. We don't know the real process of how to choose a wife, how to choose a husband. Y'all see that? Go to so we're gonna talk about how in the ancient days the woman was chosen. Okay? Just to show you, it wasn't some just broad. It wasn't some chick off the street. It was a process. Go to Genesis 24 verse 1. It was a process on how we dealt with marriage. Okay? So read that. Genesis 24 verse 1 on down.
Genesis 24 verse 1.
Yeah.
And Abraham was old and well stricken in age. And the Lord had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had,
right?
Put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh,
right?
And I will make thee swear by the Lord, the God of heaven and the God of the earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites.
Right. Now, listen. Why did he have to do that? Why did he have to get somebody else to do it? Because he was old and stricken. Usually, we're going to find out the father will go pick. The father, your mother, rarely, but it was the head of the household that would do it. That would pick a wife for you. It was a process, man. But he's old and stricken, so he's making his head servant vow this vow. I want you to get me a wife for my son, but don't get no damn Canaanite woman. Another thing, us not having the law, we still dealt with Hebrews. This is before the law. The Most High told us, the Most High, through Abraham, showed us our tradition was not to deal with the women of other nations. Not to bring in seed of the other nations. Y'all get this, right? Go ahead.
That thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of... That thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell.
Read.
But thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servant said unto him, Peradventure the woman will not be willing to follow me unto this land. Must I needs bring thy son again unto the land from whence thou camest?
Right. So now they're just talking about how this is going to happen. See? You see that? And that we don't got that custom no more. That custom ended, man. It was a little bit there, maybe in 1990, coming into the from the 80s. But as you got into the 90s, and they started TLC, the independent woman, and chicks wearing boots, right? They destroyed that. They destroyed that. Now it's like y'all niggas is old. That's how they look at us. They're like, y'all niggas is old. They think, yeah, give my ass and let any man put their thing in me. That's new. Like, that's what they're saying, right? That's the logic. I know it's wrong. But you kids, brothers, sisters gotta understand. That's what you're saying. Yeah, y'all niggas old. I want that new thing. I want to be treated like a slut, a hoe, a whore, a whoremonger, and that's that new. I'm more hip, I'm more logic, I'm more wise, right? I know more. Nah. You're destroying yourself. That's why they be more destroyed. Like, bro, go look at, Instagram and look at the kids on there. Kids, it's sad. It's sad. Go ahead.
And Abraham said unto him, Beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again. The Lord God of heaven, which took me from my father's house and from the land of my kindred,
right,
and which spake unto me, and that sware unto me, saying, Unto thy seed will I give this land.
Right. So think about it. Y'all got to see what's going on here. Don't give my son, let him dwell with a Canaanite woman.
Bring her to his land.
It got to be a woman of our kindred, of our nation. You see?
God.
So they were being choosy, man. They're being choosy. Israelites ain't choosy no more. Huh? What they say, niggas is thirsty. Mm-hmm. And you take anything. She ain't got no standard. You go in her house, it ain't clean. You think it's cute. She dope though. Right? Kids all jacked up, but she fine though. Right? Mind all jacked up. You're not being choosy no more. The scriptures is showing you how we chose. We chose with a standard. Our fathers chose for us. Y'all get this?
God.
Go ahead.
He shall send his angel before thee, and thou shalt take a wife unto my son from thence.
Right. See, the Most High was going to happen. See, that's a beautiful thing, man. The Most High, the Spirit was moving this in the way it needed to go. We don't let that happen anymore. We don't let the Spirit move it no more. You know what we do? We thirsty. You know what I mean? You go to the bar, you know what I mean? Liquor falling out your mouth. You drunk. You faded. You looking at her like, she's the one, she's the one.
Very ugly.
She's pure, When'd you meet her? When you was dog drunk. Right? And you thought you was going to make a decision correctly? No. You got the worst thing. Guess what? You guess what you got? You didn't know she was a dude.
That's cold.
You didn't know she was a dude. Why? Because all you did was like, you were faded that night. You know what I mean? She told you she was a dude too that night. But you didn't hear that. You know what I mean? But she got all her parts in and out, right? They took that, they folded it up, they put that, they gave her breasts, and you hit it. And now you got a dude under your belt. You can add that to your Why? Because you ain't thinking. And then you want to what? Now you want to kill yourself. What you gonna do then? What you gonna do when you hit a dude?
You gonna kill yourself or kill her? Him?
Right. Then you gonna end up in prison.
Right.
Right? No, you know what you gonna have to do? Suck it up. And realize you just hit a dude. Because you're wicked as hell. So the Most High's not playing. Same thing with women. Same thing, man. There's no difference. So look at the character. Look at the standard we had back then. We chose. The angel, the Spirit was moving with it. So now y'all say today, well, what's supposed to happen today? A lot of y'all youngsters, kids, well, so my dad, you're supposed to choose? You're supposed to at least let him read the character of this individual. You're supposed to at least let your parents give you wisdom and say, hey, I met this guy, I met this girl. Let me bring him to my mom and dad because they're going to judge with this wisdom. They're not going to judge off of some, I'm your parents. I'm not even on that. I'm not about, I'm your parents, I got rule over you and, you know what I mean, you bring him here. No, I'm going to show you like, okay, these are the things you got to consider from this individual. They brain ain't right. They don't got this intact. Or you know what? Yeah, they got a head on their shoulder. This is a person that got some God-fearing genes in them. But how you gonna get them to start following the laws? Or you gonna get with that person to celebrate Christmas? This is what you gotta be thinking about. Right? I know y'all thinking about it. That's a lot of work. Exactly. But here's the thing. Imagine 1 year later, you had a child and she's still celebrating Christmas. How are you going to feel? How? You're going to feel like, dang, the truth is real, brother. Brothers is deep. Man, don't come with that stupidity. Brothers always coming with that, man. Y'all deep. Nigga, we told you. Way ahead of time. We didn't need a crystal ball. You didn't need somebody to go back to the future. The scriptures already told us the way to do it. We already made enough of mistakes. I already made enough of mistakes in my past. You understand? So I know, oh man, I ain't going down that road no more. Now, if that was the case, not saying I'm looking. Me and my ribs are good. right? But if that was the case, I know how to look now. I know how to be patient, right? How many of you ever went on a fast from sex? You see that? But see, you can control yourself. So now you ain't like, well, I just can't live without it, man. I'm going to explode. No, you're not. You got to control the flesh. Right? Listen, the scripture says, it says in the scriptures, in the Apocrypha, these are days that practice abstinence. It was they that practiced abstinence that made it into the kingdom. Abstinence on a spiritual level, that we have control. We're mortifying the deeds of the flesh. That's what we got to get better at doing. None of us perfect. I'm not trying to act like I'm perfect. But we got to get better at mortifying the deeds of the flesh, right? We got to get better at it. You understand? You can't keep making the same mistakes. All right, go ahead, read on.
And if the woman will not be willing to follow thee, then thou shalt be clear from this my oath.
Right, you see that? Because the Spirit was going to come in. The Spirit was going to come in and send a woman that was going to be right for Isaac. Y'all get this? You see how the Most High is moving? And you don't have to jump. The Most High will give you all your pleasures. Right? Where is that? Find me that one in the Psalms. He said to give the righteous the pleasures evermore. Find me that one real quick. You're going to get your pleasure with the Most High. You know what I mean? You're going to get your pleasure. You can get your pleasure with the devil. That's not going to last. That's going to be hurtful. That's going to only be for a time being. Or you can get your pleasure from the Most High. And guess what? Yeah, it's still going to be struggles. It ain't going to be perfect. My household ain't perfect. We battle. You know what I mean? We have our ups and downs. But one thing we know, we are moving for a purpose. Not in deaf, dumb, and blind. We at least know that we're going to stick to this code at the end of the day. And that's what keeps us going. You see that? If we don't have this, what do we have? The hood. Drugs, gangs, dope dealers, drug dealers, rap, right? Rap music, R. Kelly. That's all we got. R. Kelly. If you ain't got this, bro, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will reject you. So we got to understand why. Where is that at?
Psalms chapter 16 and verse 11.
Psalm 16 and 11. Go ahead and read that.
Thou wilt show me the path of life.
Right.
In thy presence is fullness of joy.
See, you see that? The presence of the Most High is fullness of joy. People think the kingdom is going to be us sitting in the corner not doing anything. No, the kingdom is going to be fun. We're going to have a blast. Anything you do now is going to be done better in righteousness and purity. You're not going to have to worry about death. So yes, they try to act like, oh, the kingdom is going to be you niggas just yelling at women and the men just squares. No, we going to be the flyest thing on earth. Right? We're going to have, if we got flavor now in wickedness, imagine how much flavor we going to have in righteousness. Y'all see that? So it ain't going to be some bland, you know what I mean, like the white man's kingdom. Nah, man. We're all sitting in one place, and like a big church. Nah, it's the world is gonna be at our service.
The whole world, correct?
You understand? Go ahead.
Come. At thy right hand there are pleasures forevermore.
You see that? At the right hand of the Most High there are pleasures forevermore, but not wicked pleasures. It's righteousness. Is marriage righteous?
God.
Yes. Is women having a wife righteous? Yes.
God.
Is having a husband righteous?
God.
Yes. So don't make it seem like, yeah, in the kingdom you ain't going to be doing none of that. That's not what it's saying. The scriptures is saying the pleasures, but in righteous pleasures. What?
17 and 15, it says,
go ahead.
As for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I wake.
Ooh, yeah, I should be satisfied. See, a lot of people don't understand that there's a satisfaction dealing with the knowledge. There is. The pain and the suffering is in the world. The pain isn't in the suffering is when the flesh is yearning for you to do worldly things, and you don't have no other option. There is another option: the word, the truth, the knowledge, to take pleasure in the goodwill and righteousness of the Most High. We're gonna have fun. You're gonna have fun. You understand? Remember, it said in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man. That's what's gonna happen when the kingdom comes. These women ain't gonna be no problem. Y'all understand that? And then for the sisters too, I know y'all thinking, well, what about me? You gonna be in the right mind. Imagine not having pain mentally, spiritually. You see that? Imagine not having a problem with a man ruling. It's gonna change your mind. So it is gonna be pleasure. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. It's going to be joy. Y'all get this? All right. Go ahead. Jump back. Jump back.
It's,
what verse were we at?
Verse 8.
Go ahead.
And if the woman will not be willing to follow thee, then thou shalt be clear from this my oath. Only bring not my son thither again.
Go ahead.
And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and sware to him concerning that matter. And the servant took 10 camels of the camels of his master, and departed.
Right. So y'all see this, right?
Done.
How did Abraham get Isaac a wife? Through the father. You understand? How did we get wives back in the past?
Through our fathers.
Through our fathers. Through the parents. Right? That was Genesis 24 and 1 on down. Go to Genesis 28 and 1. Let's see how Jacob got a wife. Genesis 28 and 1. Go ahead.
Genesis 28 and 1.
Go ahead.
And Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, Thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
Right. See? Don't deal with these Africans. Don't deal with these heathens, man. See, you got brothers out there, man, and they're ignorant now. They don't understand this. That they was never supposed to deal with those heathens. But we're going to get a lot of them in the truth. A lot of them are going to come back, and they're going to have these mixed seeds. But in the future, when the kingdom come, the Most High, she ain't going to be your wife. You know what I mean? If she lives, you probably going to have to demote her to yard duty. She ain't going to be like the Hebrew Israelite woman. You understand that? All these cats that got these white women and Chinese women, if they don't just die when Yahweh Shai come in the destruction and they survive, because a lot of these men still love them. Right? They still love them, but what are those women going to be in the kingdom?
Handmaids, servants?
Yeah, they're going to be servants and handmaids. They ain't going to be on the level of an Israelite woman. They were never on the level of an Israelite woman. I know y'all don't like to hear it. I know when they get this on YouTube, they gonna get hurt, the nations. But that's just the way it is. You see that?
God.
And the Most High is gonna, like I said, a lot of that is gonna be none of that's gonna be no more. But they're still gonna be our servants and handmaids, right? Con? Go ahead.
Arise, go to
Padanaram.
To the house of Bethel,
right?
Thy mother's father,
right?
And take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother.
Right. So he has something set up already. You see, all these are. Listen, you're gonna go do this. You're gonna go over here. This is who we talked about This is where those movies, the kings, already at a young age, married the daughter of this kingdom of the France to the husband or the boy of the king in England.
God.
Promised to already. This is where they got it from. Remember, they got all of this from the Bible. All religions got everything from the Bible. Now we're just ciphering through all that and going and finding out what was Scripture. And we're finding out how they did it in the Scriptures. So we can see what was true and what was wrong. So when you see that a lot of these series, this is what we did. Promise relationships. But to keep the seed pure, it would be through family. Right? Through kindred. That's what Adam did. That's why he said, you are bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Because Eve came through his kindred. Go ahead.
And God Almighty bless thee, and make thee fruitful, and multiply thee, that thou mayest be a multitude of people, and give thee the blessing of Abraham to thee.
Right, because he was trying to remember, all this was due to you being obedient to what I'm telling you to do. You're going to get this if you do what I tell you to do. I already have it pre-set up. They weren't just dealing with no random broad off the street. Y'all see this? Go ahead.
And that thou mayest inherit the land wherein thou art a stranger, which God gave unto Abraham. And Isaac sent away Jacob, and he went to Pandanaram. Pandanaram.
Right, Padanaram.
Padanaram unto Laban,
right,
son of Bethuel the Syrian, the brother of Rebekah, Jacob's and Esau's mother.
Right.
When Esau saw that Isaac had blessed Jacob and sent him away to
Padanaram,
to take him a wife from thence, and that as he blessed him, he gave him a charge, saying, thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan.
But what did Esau do? He did exactly that. He didn't listen to his father. See? Disgruntled. He didn't listen. See? So now you see in the 60s and the 50s, our elders, when they had to come to the house, they had to meet the parents. They had to be okayed by the father. This is where our custom comes from. You weren't just running out there doing any old thing. And you got to think about it. Why though? Why would you want that? Because through a multitude of counsel, there's safety. Through a multitude of counsel, there's safety. You got to get everybody to get, is this the right person? Right? And I'm speaking in this time. You should still try to keep these customs. We know some parents are dead. But remember, he gave his servant. He told his servant, somebody got to speak on this. Oh, yeah, that looks like a good person. That's a good woman. Yeah, I talked to them. Right? But it ain't happening like that these days. Why? Because marriage is not honorable. They don't take it as marriage being honorable, man. Marriage is, to them, is they already slept with 50 people, and now the one person that they got a piece of paper and a ring and a cake, right? Now they're married to that person. See? So we're going to go through all these. Go ahead. All right, that's it on that. Go from there. Go to Genesis 38 and 6.
Genesis chapter 38 and verse 6.
Genesis 38 verse 6. Go ahead. So you see Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, right? We're gonna go to Jacob. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 38 verse 6. And Judah took a wife for his firstborn.
So and you see the common theme? The father was picking the woman. Why? Because you don't know. You're young. You don't know what's good. You don't know what to look for. Right. So the father will pick the wife. What?
Yeah, it just reminded me when I was younger, any girl that I really liked, I bring her around my pops because I was like, man, he can see any kind of deceptiveness in her that I can't see. And I would bring her around and he'd be like, yeah, she all right, but watch out for this.
There
or
you
she
go.
all right, but watch out for that.
There you go.
He told me every time, and then any girls that I brought around him that didn't want to be around him, he was like, nah.
See, that's old school, man.
Yeah.
That's old school, but that's why the scriptures say, remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will tell thee. Right? You're supposed to go there real quick. Let's throw that one in there in your notes. Go to Deuteronomy 32.
That's for the old past?
You can get that one too in Jeremiah. That's Jeremiah 6, I think. But I'm talking about Deuteronomy 32.
7?
7, yeah. 32 and 7.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7.
Uh-huh.
Remember the days of old.
Uh-huh.
Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee.
You see that? You see that? Ask thy father, and he will show thee. What? Everything. Everything. Hey, Dad, what you think about this woman? Mom, what you think about her? Right? And they would tell you. They would say, well, where's her parents? What is this? See, they're asking questions that you didn't ask. Right?
John?
That's why it says go to the elders. Right? Wear out the doorsteps, because now you don't, listen, he didn't have his father. Abraham sent his what? Servant. Somebody had to speak and show this young man how to not be void of understanding so he won't get a whore. Y'all see that? Go ahead.
Thy elders, and they will tell thee.
See, they were supposed to tell you. Sit you down and be like, boy, that girl ain't no good for you. Baby, that man ain't no good for you. Look, but not like today. They just do it out of emotions. They do it out of what job he has or what job he don't have. There's a lot of good men with not good jobs. There's a lot of bad men with good jobs. That's what I said. They're not thinking according to this. A man shall be commended according to wisdom. They're not looking at that. Let me find a man of wisdom, intellect, understanding. You see, now think about how rare that is. We have the truth, but how many brothers and sisters, right, are in the truth? Rare. See, it's rare. Go ahead. Right, that's it on that. Now go to the next one.
Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, send ye in the way, stand ye in the way, and seek and ask for the old path.
See, you see that? Ask for the old path. That's what we're supposed to be doing in everything. We're supposed to be asking for the old path. Well, how was it done in the ancient days? How did we do it in the scriptures? How did the Most High say do it? Because everything now is new, is defiled, is corrupt, is wicked. The way they think, the way they feel, the way they act. I'm going to say it again. You youngsters, you coming into the truth. A lot of you teenagers that are now getting to the point to where you're going to be growing up to be teachers and following in your mother's examples, following in your father's examples. This is the way. Because take a look at your friends. Take a look at your friends in the world and look at them. Look at them on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. And look at how already their mind is twisted and warped and is corrupt. It's filthy. We were there. We were there. The change that's coming through this wisdom and knowledge. Doesn't mean we're better than them. Doesn't mean we're worse. I'll put it like this. We got to change. Israel got to change. Y'all understand that? Go ahead.
Where is the good way?
Where is the what?
Good way.
See, your elders was going to tell you that. See, someone with more sense was going to tell you that. Tell you. Someone with more sense was going to tell you. Because right now, you ain't moving with the sense. You ain't moving with the wisdom. Go ahead.
And walk therein.
Right.
And ye shall find rest.
Right. And ye shall find rest. And a lot of problems can be solved. You know, and we do it when you go to get educated on a degree. Who are you talking to? People that understand the workings of that system. Right? If you want to go learn about computers, you go to the people that are working on computers that can educate you on that system. See, they do it for the carnal things in life. Well, what about the spiritual? What about the mind? This is what we deal with. We deal with the spirit and the mind, but you got to go to the people that can educate you on the spiritual. Not the churches. They don't educate us on the spiritual. They educate us just on feelings. The same thing the world does. So who sits me down? Who sits you down and is able to go through and say, nah, that's out of emotions. That's out of pride. That's out of envy. That's out of lust. Not you see that? There's only one people, one nations, one brothers, Israelites. Right?
Come.
When you dealt with that woman, what information did you get? Oh yeah, I hit that as quick as possible. You didn't get that. You got out. You better slow down. Well, why you say that? Because experience and the wisdom. Oh, I done been through that. Not only that, what are the scriptures saying? The scriptures say, prove a friend. Y'all see this? It's a process. Let the angels of the Lord go before you. Right? Let the angels go before me. Why? Because Yahweh, please, I done made so many bad decisions. Let the angels go before this one and find me something, right? Before you make the wrong decisions and you start having seeds with the wrong ones. Whew. Some of y'all ain't there yet, right? You know what I mean? See, some of y'all ain't there yet, but let your forefathers tell you, your forebrothers tell you that, listen, we done made the mistakes. Not only the women's, it's been brothers' mistakes too, because we move with no wisdom, right? All right, go from there. Read that last scripture where you were at. Read it again. Genesis 38 and 6.
Done.
And then give me Judges 14 and 2.
Genesis chapter 38 verse 6.
And
Judah took a wife for
right,
his firstborn,
right,
whose name was Tamar.
Right. So once again, the father, the Hebrew Israelite custom was the father would pick your wife. The father would pick your husband. You weren't just going out, right? You know how all these movies they do, all the prearranged marriages. I don't really want to marry them. Look at him. I want to marry for love. They try to make it look all bad. But there was love. You're reading all the love stories here. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You read about Jacob. Was his wives in love? Yes. They was in love with Jacob. They wanted Jacob. They weren't like, I got to marry him. This prearranged thing. But what the white man do in all these movies?
He flipped the script.
They make it, they call evil good and good evil. So when you see the prearranged situations, it's like, I don't want it prearranged. And truthfully, these days, the only ones that can really prearrange you is somebody with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. At least get some input before you jump in, right? Go ahead.
Judges chapter 14 and verse 2.
Go ahead.
And he came up.
So y'all, if you read that too quick, that was Judah picking a son for his son, Okay, picking a wife for his son, All right, so now we're jumping over to Samson. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Which one was for the Deuteronomy 32?
The what?
Deuteronomy
32.
Oh yeah, that was Deuteronomy 32 and 7.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Judges chapter 14 and verse 2.
And
he came up and told his father and his mother and said, I have seen a woman in Timnath of the daughters of the Philistines.
Right.
Now, therefore, get her to me to wife.
Right. You see what's going on here. But Samson, listen, y'all gotta understand the story of Samson. Samson was a knucklehead, y'all. Samson was chosen, but Samson was doing things wrong. That's why in the prophecy in Deuteronomy 33, it says that Dan was going to be a serpent in the way, I think it is. An adder in the way. Why? Because the judges were supposed to lead us right. But Samson, he was making a lot of wrong decisions. He was doing things he don't supposed to be doing. Right? We're not going to go over the whole story because then that take a whole class. We read on Samson. The point we're picking out is showing y'all that who did he ask to go get that woman?
His dad.
His dad, his mama. Right? Go arrange this and set this up. This is the woman I want. We weren't going out and doing it ourselves. Right? There was a pre-analyzation that was going to go down. And y'all see why, though. Now, y'all going to see all the steps that came with it. Right? You're going to see why the dowry came in. How the espousal will come in, how the dowry came in, and how these things came in. All those customs. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Then
his father and his mother said unto him, Is there ever a woman among the daughters of thy brother?
Right. So, once again, that's showing you that Samson was tripping. He really wanted this woman. And because he wanted this woman, that woman was his what? That woman was his downfall. That woman was his downfall. So a lot of time, you get that in Israel. A lot of brothers be like, that's not what you need. Bro, you don't need that. That's not good for you. She don't want to listen. She don't want to hear. But bro, she listens sometime. She just battling. Bro, why? Why are you putting your time? Why are you putting your spirit? Think about what's going on. You're always fighting. You're always arguing. You get that? A lot of couples that's strangling each other, trying to kill each other, and don't realize that y'all are not good for each other. You know what I mean? The Most High ain't buying. He said to make you one flesh don't mean he make you choke each other to death. It don't mean that. But what happened is what? You let pride, you let lust get in, and now you're in the middle of this situation. Now you're falling into the hardness of your heart. He gave you the bill of divorce. But how many times is that going to happen before you understand that you already made the wrong decision? Moses didn't write that bill of divorce for you to keep sinning, for you to keep making the wrong decisions. The bill of divorce was because the hardness of your heart. It wasn't even supposed to be like that. Y'all see that? So Samson is asking his parents because the father was supposed to get you that woman. The mother was supposed to, they were going to come to an agreement. Y'all listening? Now I want to throw this in there. Now we understand the paper didn't come from no faggot priests. The paper you go to the courthouse with, you talk about, well, you got to get the court paper. Bruh, show me in the Bible where the hell the court paper, the agreement for that marriage license was with the white man, any other nation, or anybody else except the mother and father. The agreement wasn't with the damn white man at the courthouse. It was with the parents. Because the parents got the money. They got the dowry. We're going to go into all that. But I'm just jumping ahead a little bit. See? So when brothers trip off, you got to get the paper. Well, who? The devil? You try to tell me the devil's going to make it right? No. He's going to tell me that we're bound? Nah. The Most High makes it right. So we honor the Most High. First of all, right? Because if not, then you'll be thinking what? Well, I'm not married because I don't got a piece of paper. So I can have sex with every little thing. You see how twisted your mind it get? I ain't got no paper, I ain't got no ring. That's what brothers are doing that like they do in the world. Oh, I ain't got no ring, so I'm not married. I ain't got no paper, so I'm not married. Stop it. You're creating a whore out of the daughters of Zion. Once you lay with her, that's your wife. Once you lay with him, that's your husband. From the beginning, where was Adam and Eve's paper? They two trying to become one flesh. Y'all get that?
God.
All right, go ahead.
Or among all my people.
Right, so they were once again checking him like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob did to not what? Not deal with the heathens, right? But he was like, nah, I want that Philistine. She must have been a bad heathen for him to be like, nah, I don't want an Israelite woman. You think about that. That is insane. But once again, that's where Samson wasn't on point. So don't use that. Well, Samson, the Most High destroyed him. He got dead. He got dead because of this Philistine.
He got dead.
He got dead. Yeah, go ahead, finish that.
That thou goest to take a wife of the uncircumcised Philistines.
Right. See, you weren't supposed to. Don't deal with the Hamites. Don't deal with the Canaanites. Right. Go from there. Go to Genesis 21 and 21. Now, rarely would the mother do it. The only time the father wouldn't do it if he was dying or dead, and he had to. You still see in Abraham and Isaac and them situation, they prearranged certain things, and all they had to do was say, okay, go over here. This is who you're going to pick. This is who you're going to choose. Right? But if the father wasn't around, if he had died unexpectedly, it would be the servant or it would be the mother. Y'all get that?
God.
So Genesis 21 and 1. Read
Genesis, you said 21 and 1 or 21?
21.
Genesis chapter 21, verse 21.
Yeah.
And he dwelt in the wilderness of Paran.
Right.
And his mother took him a wife.
Right.
Out of the land of Egypt.
Right. Now, whose mother was that?
Ishmael.
Right. It was Ishmael. Okay. Remember, we read all this in Sabbath class, and it's not going over the whole history. It's the point to show you that who had to pick a wife for Ishmael? His mother. Why? Because the father wasn't around. So, but we see the custom of the Hebrew majority of the time was the father. Y'all get this? Go to Tobit 6 verse 15. Tobit 6 verse 15.
Tobit chapter 6 and verse 15.
Go ahead.
Then the angel said unto him, doest thou not remember the precept which thy father gave thee? That thou shouldest marry a wife of thy own kindred?
So you see the custom? You see what it keeps repeating? That we were supposed to marry a wife of our own kindred. You see that? Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Judah, right? Samson. All through the scriptures, man. I mean, I could have kept going with this, but y'all getting the point. What is the point?
Have the parents pretty much married off?
Yeah, that the parents married off and got you who you were going to marry. They already had prearranged this. But they already had picked you one. They already had the thought on what they're going to get you. That's it. Y'all get that? Okay. So this is what he's telling them here. You don't remember that your father said, don't deal with these heathens. Go ahead.
Wherefore, hear me, O my brother, for she shall be given thee to wife, and make thou no reckoning of the evil spirit. For this same night shall she be given thee in marriage.
Right. So, and we go into that once again. You know that we've been over that in class about that evil spirit that was attacking this woman, right? Asmodeus, right? So we've been over this. Zion just went over that in class. All right, but once again, we're showing that all the way to Tobias, right, Tobit, that the father picked the wife. Y'all see this?
Gone.
Okay, go from there. Go to Ecclesiastes 26, verse 19. Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha 26, verse 19.
Ecclesiastes chapter 26 and verse 19.
And we touched on this a little bit the other day to remind us when they chose these women, what did they choose them? How did they choose them? How did they choose these women? Right? How was a man going to be chosen? Go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter
26 and 19 down to 21.
Come, verse 19. My son, keep the flower of thy age sound.
Right. So this is how he chose them. Why does it say keep it sound? And what was the flower of his age? The flower of his age was his virginity. Right? And how was he going to keep it stable?
By having control?
Yeah, by having control, but by getting women of his nation. See? By dealing with women of his nation. By dealing with a man of her nation. Go ahead.
Come. And give not thy strength to strangers.
See? That's how you were going to keep it strong. Because now I was going to have seed from my nation. Now we know it's different during these times because nowadays the Israelite women act like heathen. So how much more guard you have to put up? Now, we went over in the beginning, what's the guard?
Your wisdom? I mean your parents?
Yeah? But what we went over in the beginning, what is the guard nowadays? How do you have to guard yourself? What's the first scriptures we went over? Prove a friend. So how do you guard yourself now? Prove a friend and not being rash. You see that? You're going to know if this woman is a heathen in mind and spirit if you sit down and ask her. So, if I said I ain't celebrating Christmas and we have kids, how you feel about that? Psst, you great, that boy, oh, okay. Good to know. So we paying Dutch? Right?
God.
We going halfers on this meal? Because this date is over. Right? There's got to be something in common. What's that, sis?
So, you know how you're saying the father picks the wife for their son? Does also, can the father pick the husband for the daughter?
The father pick the husband for the daughter. Exactly. Same thing.
They can do it too?
Yeah, of course. The parents would do it whether daughter or son. Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
Right? See, they had to know what possession was fruitful. You got this woman that had sex with like 75 guys. How is that wound? How's her womb going to be productive for you? Nobody thinks about that. The reason why our babies come out all beat up, destroyed, you know what I mean? You're dealing with what? Messed up wombs. That's why our women in the past were supposed to be virgins. And I know now you're saying, well, it ain't like that now, Kazakian. They all their wombs is messed up. Yes, that's why you gotta pray. That's why you gotta anoint. That's why you gotta choose the right one. You gotta let her clean herself. Anoint her body. Right? That's why a lot of women in the ancient days, they should be cleansed. When you go back to the scriptures, they should purge themselves with oils and cleanse themselves. A lot of young girls these days, they just pop off the condom, go from one man to the next. If they use a condom. Right? That's how it's done. See? But you wouldn't know if you got a fruitful possession because you ain't never sat down and even talked with her. You don't know how many. She still won't trust you. She still won't divulge how many men she slept with. That's how you know you ain't got her. You know what I mean? You still haven't got in her head to know that if she was raped or not. When they tell you that, then you know they're really divulging up information. They're really giving up information. They care because they're telling you what's in their heart, what's real. Yeah, I was taken advantage of, this and this and this. Then you know, okay, I got somebody that's going to deal with certain issues. So how did that affect you? How did it affect you when you were raped? What happened with men? I just lost all trust. I lost all hope in men. Then, me and my girlfriend, we got together for a while. You didn't know that though. Because you didn't ask. You see that?
Good.
So then you were able to, okay, this chick got some issues. She seems like a good spirit. Not saying just because she got issues, you ain't gonna deal with her. But at least you know. At least have the choice, right?
God.
Same thing with the men.
God.
Sisters, you would have the choice, right? But what's happening? Israel ain't thinking it. You won't know if you got a fruitful possession. You won't know that she cut her tubes. She tied her tubes. Yeah, I gave up on my first one. I ain't having no more. Oh, no. You say kids, she's like, whoa. Not for me. It's like, you're like, dang. Oh, you don't want no kids? Nah, I'm done with that. Once you do that, check. Right? Because she's not giving you the option. Right?
God.
What are you with her for? Right? The world don't look at it like that. It's my body and I do what I want, but I'm putting my body in your body and we're finna make a body, and that's what a man and a woman's for, right? To make a body. If you can't facilitate that, what's the point of this? Now, I'm not saying that some of y'all might not want kids. You get that too. Well, brother, I don't want a kid. She don't want a kid. That's perfect. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't want a lineage, but I mean, hey, you got you can do what you want, right? You got brothers and sisters like that. Well, we both don't want kids. That's fine. But at least you know that, right? That this possession is going to be fruitful or not. If I did want it, I still had that option, right?
God.
Go ahead.
Through all the field.
Uh-huh.
Sow it with thine own seed.
You see? Sow it with your own seed. Right?
God.
And there's nothing wrong with being a father to the fatherless. I love kids. I never was that type of hater that, she got kids and I'm, hating on that. Nah. That's fine. You got kids. If I decide to deal, then that's fine too. But at the same time, she got like 5 different baby daddies. You got to think about where she's been through, what she's doing, how she's easily break up in situations, how she easily gives herself over to these men. What's going to be different with you? Why you broke up with him? Well, I couldn't deal with this. Well, why you broke up with him? I couldn't deal with this. Well, why you broke up with him? I couldn't deal with this. So you can't deal with life then, because you broke up with all these men for what reason? Same thing with men. How many women you got? Well, I didn't want to deal with that. Oh, this guy doesn't want to deal with responsibility. He doesn't want to deal with, taking care of his family. He still wants to be a child at 30 years old, at 28, at 25, right?
God.
You get that. You get it. Go ahead, read on.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
Yeah, see, and that's why you heard that all the time. Don't deal with the Canaanite woman. Don't deal with the women of the other nations. Trust in the goodness of your stock. Right? Because when you start mingling seed, you're lessening the validity of your lineage. Right? And that's what they've been trying to do to us for the longest time, right? Kill your black children, kill your Hispanic children, right? With every way they can do it. Right? Now they just what? Sucking that seed up from all our people. Go ahead.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
So thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified.
Right. You see that? So thy race. So now we see why he said don't deal with the Canaanites. Y'all got that?
Good.
So we got the first step out of the way. It's choosing a spouse. Choosing a spouse anciently has been through the father or the mother. The second was the dowry. So you got you a spouse, right? Now you got the dowry. That was going to come into play. So look up dowry. See what y'all got.
Do it in Zondervan too?
Yeah, look up dowry in the Zondervan. Let's see what they got in there. I'm going to read here. Dowry, Hebrew, mahar, which is purchase price. Y'all listening?
Come.
Purchase price. That's what the dowry was. Y'all understand this? It says the dowry in the Old Testament was not a portion brought by the bride into the husband family. Oh, excuse me. Old Testament was not a portion brought by the bride into the husband family and to be returned upon her husband's death or her divorce for her comfort or security, but a price that was paid. Okay, so the dowry was a price that was paid to her father or brothers. It was to compensate for her loss as a valuable member in the family. That's what the dowry was for. You hear us say it all the time. You're taking a valuable piece of the household. Like right now, I got 2 daughters. They take care of the kitchen. They help with their brother, right? They do their chores around the house, right? My son does his chores too, but I got 2 daughters that make sure they're doing all the things, right? They got to help cook, right? And they do it by free will. There ain't no gun to their head. We tell them we're all hands in, we're all a team, right? So they won't feel like, oh, Daddy forced me. No, you dirtied the toilet, you cleaning it too. Let's hands in, we're a team, right? I don't believe in the forcing, because they just gotta resent you. They're gonna resent you after a while. Okay? So the daughters are worth, if you took those daughters out of my house, who's gonna do all those chores? Right? Now, those are house chores, right? But imagine in the ancient days where you read about them getting water from the well, where you read about them walking, taking care of the cattle here or there, feeding the cattle, cleaning the house, and all those duties, right, they took on. You see that? So that's why the dowry came into play. Go ahead. What you got on dowry?
This is Zondervan Bible Pictorial Dictionary, page 224. Dowry, the price paid by the suitor to the parents of the prospective bride. Also, the protition which the bride brought to her husband. Genesis chapter 30, verse 20, 34 and 12, Exodus 22, verse 17, and 1 Samuel 18 and 25. Illustrate various use of this word.
Right. So this is more correct according to the scriptures. A price that was paid to her father or brothers. It was to compensate for her loss as a valued member of the family. The amount and the kind of the dowry varied according to the social position and desirability of the bride. So, yeah, you was up in some cash. You was up in some cash for the dowry, okay? All right, so go to Genesis 34, verse 12. Genesis 34, verse 12. Let's talk about the dowry.
Yeah.
So when you pick the woman, you weren't just going to take that woman. You was going to have to pay up something to the father of the brothers because you're taking a valuable partner. Now, the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, still do this.
God.
They still carry our customs out there in certain of those countries. What?
The one from incest.
The one.
The gypsies, they do that too.
The gypsies.
Oh yeah, they do.
The gypsies, they do that too.
The gypsies, of course they are. Gypsies is all about money, right?
God.
All right, go ahead. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, remember, these are, once again, when we go according to these, we know these are certain laws that when we go into, you ain't gonna argue with your, you know, your daughter's boyfriend and be like, no, you can't marry my daughter unless you bring me $30,000. Like, you might not apply that during this generation. Well, you understand?
Well.
And you might, but listen, it wasn't against the law. You know what I mean? I've been thinking about this a long time, right? I can make a good amount of cash over here. No, but you know, the thing is that this is in the law. This is in the scriptures.
This book.
This was our tradition before the law.
Come.
A lot of these we're reading before the law. Before Moses, this is before Moses came. Moses came and he set things in order. That's what we're going to find out about the dowry. See, go ahead.
Genesis chapter 34 verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Ask me never so much dowry and gift.
Right.
And I will give according as ye shall say unto me.
Now, he came and said, ask me what you want and I will give it to you. It doesn't matter. So he was saying, wait, Genesis
34 and verse 12.
Genesis 34 and 12. Now, who was this? This was this was Shechem, right? This was after he raped Dinah, right? But he knew the custom. Now, we know what happened to him. We're not going to go over the story. Right? He took it not the way he was supposed to. That's why he was killed. Right? Y'all get that? But, what did he say? I'll pay whatever dowry that's needed. Because that was our custom.
Right.
It says here, it seems probable that the average price paid for inviolated virgin as a bride to her father was 50 shekels. So 50 shekels today will be what? Somebody look that up. Read on.
Come. Ask me never so much dowry and gift,
Uh-huh.
and I will give according as ye shall say unto me.
Right.
But give me the damsel to wife.
Right. So, when you get the woman, not like Shechem, he was a demon, he was put to death. But when you get when it's set up, you were supposed to set it up first. You wasn't supposed to go hit it and then say, yeah, you know what? You mine, ho. Right? You were supposed to go through a process. There was supposed to be a process. Because before the dowry, or a kind of simultaneous, if you started to be espoused to this person, that's when the dowry comes in. Right? We're going to get into that. Because the dowry is coming into play because the espousal is going to come into play. Right? The promise to. Y'all see that? Yeah.
So right now it's today it would be worth $13,559.
50 shekels. That's a virgin, huh? $13,000.
It's a new car.
New car, yeah.
Okay. I mean, not really, but
that's a basic car.
Yeah.
You can't get no new car for 13. This is the year 2020, cuz. You ain't getting no new car for no $13,000.
That's a down payment.
That's a down payment for a new car. All right, but y'all getting this, right? Y'all getting the steps that we took to go to get married. All right, go ahead. Go to 1 Samuel 18 and 25. 1 Samuel 18 and 25. So we're talking about the dowry now. Now I want y'all to keep in mind, the dowry wasn't always money. Because Shechem was willing to pay anything. We're going to get a few other brothers that was paying other things. Right? It wasn't just money. Okay? Go ahead and read that.
1 Samuel chapter 18 and verse 25. And Saul said, thus shall ye say to David.
Right? Because David was going to marry Saul's daughter.
I like this one.
Go ahead.
The king desires not any dowry.
Right. He didn't want any money. Go ahead.
But 100 foreskins of the Philistines.
See, that was the dowry. He wanted their foreskins. You know what that is, right?
God.
The meat off of the penis. He wanted him to go kill how many Philistines?
100 foreskins.
That's what my dowry is going to be. That's when you don't like somebody, right? You're like, boy, you want to deal with my daughter? You're going to give me 100 foreskins of Edomites.
He might be a doctor.
So. Right? He might be. He come back, drop him at the front door. That's how you know he really loves you. Baby, if he can get these 100 foreskins, that's the man.
He said he'll be back.
Right? So, you see that the dowry wasn't always money. It was what the dad wanted. Saul had money. He didn't need your little 50 shekels of silver. Right? In this case, if you know the story, Saul was being a hard butt. He wasn't just going to give it to David. He wanted to prove David. And a lot of times you might be doing that as a father. You might want to prove this individual. Oh, you get that a lot. You want to marry my daughter, man, I need to see this. I need to see your GED first. I need to see your high school diploma. Huh? Every time I hug you, you smell like a blunt. You want to marry my daughter? No more blunts. Right? You got to follow the scriptures. Right? Come on. Go ahead.
Of the Philistines. To be avenged of the king's enemies.
Right. Go ahead.
But Saul thought to make David fall by thy hand of the Philistines.
Right. See, Saul was being evil, man. But you see that dowry was real. If he wanted her, guess what? He was going to have to bring back the Philistines. Yeah.
When you read further down, he doubled it. He was like, okay, well, I come back. He came back with 200 and the tail.
There you go.
The tail with it.
Y'all see that?
So he picked it, throw it in the bag.
Second Samuel 3 verse 14. Go there. Man, that's cold, man. That shows you, man, our traditions, man, they weren't like the Western traditions. And you know what? I'm going to say this. That don't mean they're more civil. The white man, America's beastly. So we had a standard. I know Saul, at this point, he was kind of a little overbearing with that. Because that wasn't always, you wasn't going to always hear that. Go out and kill these people for, you weren't going to always hear that. But it's just showing that the dowry was, if it was going to be work, it would be work. If it was going to be money, it would be money. If it was going to be something the father or the brothers desired, that's what it was going to have to be. Or you weren't going to get the daughter. Right? That's how much she was worth. Go ahead. Where you at?
2 Samuel chapter 3, verse 14.
Now, let me throw this in here. Do y'all see how much the woman was really protected? She was really protected. She wasn't just like a piece of meat that you were just going to get for nothing. Right? No, you was going to have to do something for this woman. Right? Now, not like today. Not bridezillas. Not bending up, begging me. Right? Not you crawling to her talking about, baby, please let me marry you. No. Nah, we don't bow. We don't bow in our marriages. If anything, she need to be bowing on her knee. If anything, she needs to be bowing on her knee, talking about, baby, please marry me, my king. It's going to be the opposite of Esau. It's going to be the opposite. You think we're going to be bowing to these women in the kingdom? You're going to be bowing to, you think Solomon bowed to 1,000 wives? He did when he went off.
God.
That's the only time he bowed.
That is.
He bowed his loins to him, right?
God.
Go ahead, read.
2 Samuel chapter 3 and verse 14.
Go ahead.
And David sent messengers to Ishbosheth.
Ishbosheth, yeah.
Ishbosheth. Saul's son, saying, deliver me my wife, Michal, which I espoused to me for 100 foreskins of the Philistines.
Right. Where's my wife at? You see that? Because it was promised and he never got it. You see that? So he went back and he got that. Saul's daughter. Is Milcah the one he threw in the dungeon?
God.
Yeah.
She was barren. Never.
But she was mostly disgruntled.
Yeah, she never buried any children.
Right. But that's not why he threw her in the dungeon.
Because he was dancing.
Yeah, she was making fun of him. Right. Yeah. So she was disgruntled. All right, go to Genesis 29 and 20. Genesis 29 and 20. Now, y'all should know this one. Y'all should know this one, man. So this was all for dowries.
God.
Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 29 and verse 20. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel.
He did what?
Served 7 years for Rachel.
So his dowry was to do what?
Served 7 years.
You're going to have to work 7 years. Man, that must have been powerful. For you to work 7 years for a woman. You got to think about that. She ain't even lived the same way. What?
I don't say she could have been younger and then she could have been mature.
Right.
And got that grown woman look.
Right? He worked 7 years for Rachel. He worked more than that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Come. And they seemed unto him but a few days.
It seemed unto him a few days. Y'all listening to this?
Come.
So, you fathers, don't make it easy on them in the sense of make a standard for your children. Make a standard for your kids, for your daughters, for the boys, for the girls. That's what this is about. You might not do money. You might not do those things, but make a standard. Y'all get that? Go ahead.
Verse 21. Oh, no, Salah.
No, jump to verse 27.
Verse 27. Fulfill her week. Yeah, fulfill her week. And we will give thee this also for the service.
Read.
Which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
Right, so how many years did he give just to marry one woman?
14.
So, I'd rather pay the 50 shekels, right?
God.
He works 14 years. That's 14 years of your life. And he said what did he say? They were as
few days.
Whew. Israelite women must have been bad, man. To work 14 years? Wow. Y'all get this, right? That's the dowry. Go from there, go to Genesis 24, verse 53.
Genesis chapter 24, verse 53. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold and raiment and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things.
Right. So y'all see this? That's where they got these customs from. But nowadays, man, it's all carnal. So they did do a lot of these things. They gave Jews. They gave gold. But once again, most of the time it was for the father, it was for the household. Y'all get that?
God.
It says, and the servant brought forth jewels of silver, jewels of gold, and raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things. That's what we were doing, man. That's the custom. But that made you have to really work for that. For instead of, you see how it wasn't the woman just laid out, you meet her in the club, that's it. The woman was precious. What they had to offer was precious. Now, I know saying that is like, in these times, it's like, that's how they still act, but it ain't precious no more. See, they act like it's precious, but they ain't giving you nothing worthy of preciousness. Right? They're not giving you virginity. Watch, go to Deuteronomy 22, verse 28. Let's show you why it was precious.
God.
Why was it precious? Come on, read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 28.
Go ahead.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin.
That is a what?
Virgin.
See, that's why it was precious. Because she was a virgin. So you ain't going to be paying no 50 shekels of silver. You ain't going to be doing all this and all that, working 14 years for a harlot.
Hell.
When you can pay 50 bucks, 20 bucks. These was Israelite women.
Huh.
Y'all see that? You see why we were supposed to keep the standard? The daughters of Zion was supposed to be virgins and keep their virtue. They were supposed to be pure. Not only for the spirit, for the standard of the nation. Now look at our women. It's sad when we can say we live on the same street where you go 3, 4, 5 blocks down and you got nothing but whores down there. I was driving up this street the other day in the daytime. Kids was out of school. You had butt-naked women walking past these kids.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
God.
This is in the daytime. You got to think about that, man. How much hurt and pain the kids got to be in to look at that and be like, either that can be me one day or I want that to be me. There be women that think like that. I met somebody that said that yeah, I thought I was going to be a whore. I was going to be a whore when I was young. That's how their minds be destroyed, man. That's how America, that's how this world got our daughters. And what are we doing to stand for them, to protect them, to fight for them, our children? You see?
They got a school.
Yeah.
They got the school right there where they mostly congregate at, and it's facing the playground. So when the kids go outside during lunch, during recess, that's what they're watching.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Dead serious, sir. Dead butt. Yes, sir. Because I took Jeremiah home one day, and it was during the day.
On recess.
At recess.
Oh man.
Where they're one of their.
But that's in the hood.
Yeah.
That's in the hood. That's because it's the hood, all right? You think they got that around Esau? Nah, bro. No. They ain't let you have a liquor store, right? Isn't it like that?
Yeah, the gas station closes at like 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in Esau's neighborhood. They don't even want you out pumping fuel that late.
Wow. Read it again.
God, if a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
Right, so she's not promised to nobody, because the promising, you would already have her engaged, betrothal or espousal. The decisive element in the betrothal was the settlement and payment of the dowry. So why you couldn't just be getting around being betrothed to this person, espoused to this person, betrothed to this person. Why? Because you had to have the money. It was already a promise that was made between who? The parents. Y'all see this?
Done.
It was the parents that made it. They arranged it. They sat down and wrote the contract. So the contract was what? The marriage contract was started with who? The parents. Y'all getting all this?
Done.
It wasn't like they telling us in the world that this marriage contract, you know what I mean, it's all about them. No, it was with the parents. Y'all see this?
Done.
I'm going to read this again. Betrothal or espouse. It says the decisive element in the betrothal was the settlement and payment of the dowry. So you couldn't be betrothed to 2 people, 2 or 3 people. You couldn't be engaged to 2 or 3 people. That's what the espousal or the betrothal is. Engagement. You're already engaged to this person. Y'all get this?
Done.
All right.
You want me to finish?
Go ahead. Yeah, read down 29.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed,
right,
and lay hold on her,
right,
and lie with her.
Now are you getting this scripture?
Done.
What are you getting?
That there was a process. One, there had to be a process. So if she was already promised to, being promised to is already being engaged. So if she was already engaged or betrothed to someone, you couldn't talk to her, you couldn't touch her. But if she didn't and you lie with her, then you got to deal with the repercussions that come with that.
I want to see who's really in class or you're in zombie mode. We just read all the scriptures on what? The father and the mother preparing your marriage, right?
Done.
Look what Moses said. Put it together. Look what Moses just said. Watch, read it again.
Done. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed,
right,
and lie hold on her.
Stop. He's forgetting something. What didn't happen here?
The parents wasn't involved?
Yeah.
The parents weren't involved. So what is he telling you to do? You already messed. Israel do what? They trying to duck out of this. No, you got to go back and follow the tradition. You weren't going to go marry this woman, or you weren't going to go sleep with her and not follow the custom. But the original way to do it was to lay with her, then pay the dowry. Y'all not getting what I'm saying. The reason why Moses had to word it this way is because the original way, he came back and said they're trying to circumvent it.
Or they're trying to cut it off?
They weren't trying to follow it. So he was like, no, you're still going to go pay the vow. You're going to pay the dowry. We just went over all the scriptures to show you which way we did it. Which way did we do it?
Don't do
the father, the mother would pick the wife. They would do the arrangement. They would sit down. You would get the dowry, right? Why Moses didn't say that? Why he said the parents afterwards? Because he was correcting the law is for what? The lawless. So what they were doing is what? I find her, I hit it, but then you know what? I'm going to say something's unclean in her, or I don't want to deal with her. He was like, nah. Y'all not going to do that. If you lay with her, you surely endow her to be your wife. Then you do what?
And lie with her, and they be found.
Right.
Then the man that lay hold with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver.
But that was supposed to be done in the first place. You see why it's worded like that now? Because Israel, he was selling the knuckleheads this. They were already doing this. They were already following the laws. Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Right?
God.
They were following the scriptures. But why did he have to come and tell them? Because these are for the lawless, the ones that are trying to run from following the commandments of the Most High. Read on.
God. and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her.
Right.
He may not put her away all his days.
Right. So y'all see this, right?
God.
He may not put her away all his days. Why? Because you weren't going to be popping from one woman to the next. You weren't going to be popping the women of Israel and making them whores. You see what you're doing? You see what you have partaken in? You see where the sin is? You see how we were dirty and filthy? So this is the real process of how we supposed to be choosing women and dealing with them. And like I said, you might not give the $13,000 up, but there's got to be a custom amongst Israelites. I know. I want to sit down with my daughter's so-called boyfriends. That's why it's like, you 15, you don't. What you need a boyfriend for? Huh? You got friends. You got your sister. You got your brother. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna be running around like a little hoe, like a little hoochie, right?
John.
Our kids aren't being told that. They ain't being taught that. Do they got any questions on the line? If y'all got any questions, stop me. I'm going through it slow, and it's easy. I made it real easy for y'all to understand. Go back to Tobit 7 verse 1. Tobit 7, 1 to 15.
Tobit chapter 7 verse 1.
And
when they were come to Ekatan, they came to the house of Raguel, and Sarah met her. And after they had saluted one another, she brought them into the house. Then said Raguel to Edna, his wife, how like is this young man to Tobit, my cousin?
Right.
And Raguel asked him, from whence are you, brethren? To whom they said, we are of the sons of Naphtali.
Right. So, what did I miss? I'm sorry. We started talking. What did I miss on here?
Where we at?
We had Tobit 7 verse 1, right?
I stopped at verse 2.
Okay, read it from verse 1 again. I'm sorry. We started talking, and I wanted to bring a point out, I think, in here. Go ahead.
Tobit chapter 7 and verse 1.
All right.
And when they were come to Ekbatan, did I say that right?
Yeah. Ekbatan. Yeah. Ekbatani.
Ekbatani. They came to the house of Raguel.
Right.
And Sarah met them. And after they had saluted one another, she brought them into the house.
Right.
Then said Raguel to Edan, his wife, how like is this young man to Tobit, my cousin? And Raguel asked them, from whence are ye, brethren? To whom they said, we are of the sons of Naphtali, which are captives in Nineveh. Then he said to them, do ye know Tobit, our kinsman? And they said, we know him. Then he said, is he in good health?
Right, go ahead.
And they said, he is both alive and in good health. And Tobias said, he is my father. Then Raguel leaped up and kissed him and wept and blessed him and said unto him, thou art the son of an honest and good man.
Go ahead.
But when he had heard that Tobit was blind, he was sorrowful and wept.
Right. So now we're reading all what we just read and all these other verses, showing you that when we picked a wife, it was of our kindred, right? We were to deal with the other nations. For some reason, it was a lot of Hamites, right, that we kicked out, right? We weren't to deal with them. So you're seeing how this agreement is going to come about. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 8. And likewise Edna, his wife, and Sarah, his daughter, wept. Moreover, they entertained them cheerfully. And after that they had killed a ram of the flock, they set store of meat on the table. Then said Tobias to Raphael, brother of Azarus, speak of those things of which thou didst talk in the way.
Go ahead.
And let this business be dispatched.
Right. So now they're going to get into the business of the marriage. You understand this? Like what we just read about the dowry, now you see they're going to come together and they're going to make this agreement. See, all the other ones didn't go into detail. But now you see there's going to go into a little more detail. They sat and what? Ate. Right? They feasted. It wasn't just a crude thing like, yeah, no, 75, sold. My daughter sold to the man in Egypt. It wasn't like that. This was a family. This was a tradition, right? This dowry, this money is going to help out your family. It's going to be a benefit. We're taking something, your loved one, which is going to be a benefit to our household now.
Plus, we took pride in what we did.
Right.
We didn't just, like you said, it wasn't like an auction, like it's a man talking fast and you just pawning your daughter off. We took pride in the family that you gave her to, and they took pride in taking your daughter. Because it was a representation. He represented his family, she represented your family.
Right.
So it was a proud thing to give her away in this manner.
Right.
It wasn't just like, oh yeah, I'm pawning my daughter off or I'm kicking her out the house. Oh, she's 18 now, get her out of here.
Yeah, or like nowadays. So the reason why I went here is to show that, yeah, it was still about money, but it wasn't like now, where, like I keep saying, bridezillas, and they got these chicks talking about the ring gotta be this size, and nigga, you gonna do it this way, and the spoons gotta be gold and all that.
My cake.
Yeah, my cake gotta be $2,000. It wasn't about that. First of all, that money wasn't even going to you anyway. We read it. It was going to the father and the brother. Y'all get that?
God.
So, but you can see now how they did this agreement. It wasn't beastly. Go ahead.
Verse 9. So he communicated the matter with Raguel. And Raguel said to Tobias, eat and drink and make merry. For it is meet that thou shouldest marry my daughter.
Right. You see this? The respect we had for each other in the household, amongst the families, amongst Israel. We had code and honor. Right?
God.
There was honor in this. Right? Go ahead.
Nevertheless, I will declare unto thee the truth.
Uh-huh.
I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men.
Right. So we don't have to go in that because now he gets into the depth of the story. All right.
But
we are gonna read on though. No, go ahead.
No, because even in that, he said it. I've given my daughter to marriage and 7 men. He did it.
Right.
The father.
Right.
It wasn't like she went out and was like picking husbands. Like, yeah, I like him because he likes to take long walks, and
yeah.
It wasn't like that. We parented our children up until that point when they were to leave for marriage. Yeah. It wasn't like America tells you at 18 kick them out, or at 15 emancipate them, or when I'm 15 I'm leaving. Or I can't wait to. We were with our families, man. We had extended families living with one another. Family, you got your grandparents, parents, children. We all lived amongst one another.
That's how we kept the community tight. We kept our nation in order. See, but once that broke down, the white man did that. Remember, divide and conquer. He broke down the importance of that. He brought the women talking about being independent. He got the kids emancipating themselves.
Going off to college.
Yeah, go. Yeah, and then when you go to college, what?
Oh.
Just be a slut, be a whore, let everybody run through you. And by the time you go get married, you got all kind of mental problems, right? And the same thing with the men too. You jacked up in the head. You treating women wrong. You don't know how to deal with women. You don't know how to deal with any situations. Why? Because nobody, like we went over earlier, your elders didn't take you through it and walk you through it. Y'all see this? So this is going into everything we went over with scriptures. It's going into a little more detail on how you see the custom coming to pass. Go ahead.
Verse 11. I have given my daughter in marriage to 7 men who died that night.
Go ahead.
They came in unto her. Nevertheless, for the present be married. But Tobias said, I will eat nothing here till we agree.
Till we what?
Till we agree.
Till we agree. There was going to be an agreement. This is the contract. This was done before you gave up the money. Y'all see this? So when we talk about the dowry, you got to agree. Something had to be set up before. And I threw it in there. You know why I threw it in there that way? To show you that a lot of people are thinking, oh, it's like Moses said, I sleep with her, then I give the money. Nah, it was the other way around. That's why I threw that in there to show you. Look at how we did it. Go ahead.
But Tobiah said, I will eat nothing here till we agree and swear one to another.
Right. They swear to the courthouse.
One to another.
The white judge.
One to another.
The city of.
One to another.
Right. It was. So when you wrote the contract, when you wrote the bill, it wasn't to America. It wasn't to the white man. Y'all get this, right?
God.
Go from there. Go to Ezekiel 16 and 8. Just to show y'all, man, we had to get that one out there because you got too many brothers and sisters thinking like the white man is certifies you. The white man don't certify crap. America don't certify crap. Because you got the stamp from the courthouse. That don't mean nothing. The Most High is the stamp. The Most High is the paperwork. That's why you got a lot of brothers. I like to see that. You got a lot of brothers online marrying couples. You know, the brother I talked to in Ohio, he was saying that, brothers that we know from the summit marrying people, that's how it's supposed to be done. Real priests, real standards, real code of honor. Not that, Vegas trip, you drunk as hell, you jump in, you get married for the night, laugh at it, get divorced the next day. Marriage is supposed to be honorable. But now marriage is a joke. Because America makes everything a damn joke. They make everything funny. To where now you don't respect marriage, and now you understand why there's fatherless children, motherless children. You see that? Because there's no honor in what we do no more. Read that. Exodus 16 and 8. Ezekiel 16 and 8.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 8.
Malachi 2 verse 14.
Now when I pass by thee, and look upon thee, behold, thy time was the time of love.
Right. Now, when is this? This was the time that the Most High anointed and chose Israel. Right? Because the Most High, Yahweh Shai, is married to us, right?
God.
Now, let's see what he says. Go ahead.
And I spread my skirt over thee.
Right.
And covered thy nakedness.
Read.
Yet, I swear unto thee.
I what?
I swear unto thee.
Why? Because when you become in a marriage, you make an oath to each other. So yes, you can have vows with each other. When you make an oath to each other, you can have vows. There's nothing wrong with that. And you make a promise to each other, they got that from the scriptures. All nations follow that, right? Well, majority of them follow that. Right? I made an oath to you. Go ahead.
And enter into a covenant.
And enter into a what?
Covenant.
You enter into a contract. You understand that? You enter into a contract with that person. See? That's why the Most High said, what he had brought together, let no man put asunder. Well, why did Moses give them the bill of divorce? Because the hardness of your hearts. You see why you can't just jump in the sack? Because marriage is honorable and all. The Most High honors that. But it got to be done the right way. You think God put a lot of these demons together? No. Satan put a lot of them together, bro. Drugs. You know what I mean? One night stands. You know what I mean? This cat was...
And you could tell.
Oh my God. The story he told me. Oh man. I don't even want to say it. Go ahead.
No, and you can tell because a lot of people don't follow like simple things like the betrothal.
Yeah.
And just... You know, that betrothal is so real because even when you read in that Deuteronomy, it tells you about a woman if she's raped during betrothal
and
don't cry out, what happens to her? she get the same judgment of the man that raped her.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that betrothal was looked at as that marriage period. That's how important it was. I know you went through it, but it was important. But imagine how important that was to getting to know the person you're supposed to be with.
Yep. Yeah.
A lot of people don't look at that. They're like, but then think about this. It's like in today's society, right? What is that betrothal period? Are we just talking? So another dude pulls up on that woman and like, hey, you got a man? No, I'm just talking to people. So you betrothed to like 50 dudes?
Right.
But we just went through it and said you can't be promised to everybody.
Right.
But then the dudes in this society don't understand, like, okay, she's talking to somebody means that
she's promised.
Right.
She's promising that her loins will bow to him. I mean, in essence, right?
Come.
This is not a game. And right?
No, come.
Yeah.
But it's looked at so lightly.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, they're just talking. They just be snapping back and forth and just texting.
Right.
But back in our day, holding to the tradition, that meant something.
Yeah.
That meant that nobody else could be Snapchatting with my woman.
Right.
You can Snapchatting my girl.
Or my girlfriend.
Right.
Yeah. Remember when she was your girlfriend? You couldn't just be talking to my girl.
Yeah.
It didn't work like that.
It didn't work like that. Nope.
So you would come into this covenant. You would come into this contract with each other. So this contract was first initially made with the parents. Y'all get that, right?
God.
Then you would fall in under that contract and agree to it. Yes, I will have you, I will hold you. I don't know the actual words that they use, but I will have you, hold you, you will be mine forever, until death do us part, right?
God.
Go to Malachi 2 verse 14.
Malachi chapter 2 and verse 14. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife.
Right. Listen to this. Right. Now we know that there's a spiritual marriage that we have been bound to Yahweh Shai. But he's also telling us something here and using it in parable form. He's telling us about marriage. Read.
Yet ye say, wherefore? Because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth.
Go ahead.
Against whom thou hast dealt treacherously.
Yeah, he's telling us that you were the wife and you're dealing like a treacherous hooker. Go ahead.
Yet is she thy companion.
Go ahead.
And the wife of thy covenant.
You see that? The wife of thy covenant. So you do these bounds, these contracts that you're contracting to when you marry a woman or you marry a husband, the Most High don't take those lightly. They're called oaths. Now, the scriptures tell you about making oaths. Y'all get this? Keeping oaths. Honoring the oath that the Most High has laid down. Y'all got that, right? Okay. So now we went into picking the bride. We went into the betrothal. We went into the dowry. We went into the betrothal. Now we're going to go into the wedding feast. Now we go into the wedding feast, because that's what happens, right? Your mother or your father finds a woman or a man, right? You agree. The parents agree. You come up under that agreement, right? And then you deal with the marriage. The marrying in. The becoming one. Okay? Go to Genesis real quick before we go to there. Go to Genesis 2. Let me throw that one in there. Genesis 2 and okay. Genesis 2 and 23. Read that.
Genesis chapter 2 verse 23.
And
Adam said, now this now bone of my bone. And flesh of my flesh.
Go ahead.
She shall be called woman.
Read.
Because she was taken out of man.
Read.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother.
You see, so what's going on now is that you're finna be married. You're finna leave your father and your mother. Okay? You're finna leave your parents. Because that's where this feast is going into. I'm jumping a little bit ahead. Because you got to have the marriage feast first. Okay, but read on.
And shall cleave unto his wife.
Go ahead.
And they shall be one flesh.
Okay, so let's read about the feast. Matthew 22:3. Did Israelites have weddings?
God.
We did. Does Israelite have wedding feasts? We did. So if you were misconstrued or you're thinking like, you know what I mean, that's the white man's thing. We ain't had marriages. We ain't had feasts. We ain't had gold and she didn't dress up. We did. We had all that. So a lot of you that want to do that, there's nothing wrong with that. It's an Israelite custom. All right, read that.
22 and 3.
Matthew 22:3.
Matthew chapter 22 verse 3
and 4. Go ahead.
And sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the marriage, to the wedding.
Right.
And they would not come.
Right.
Again, he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I have prepared my dinner.
Right. So, we know this is a parable form. But what are we learning from this? That the wedding is a dinner, right?
God.
The wedding will have Israelites there. So all these things they took from the Bible is real. So when you have them, the couple come before everybody, and you have a wedding feast, we did that. You don't have to beware. You don't have to feel bad. You don't have to feel like it's an Edomite custom. It's an Israelite custom to have a wedding feast. Y'all get this?
God.
To rejoice, to bring your wife, your husband before everybody and show them that you guys are finna become one flesh. Right? You know why I like it? As I went over it and as we're going over it again, you can see how much, man, the Most High, how much importance was put on it. So it can be sealed in your head. You see that? Of what you're doing. And how much importance this is. You know, but every step of the way, you can see there was detail and importance in it. It wasn't just the wedding feast. You see, that's what trips all of us out and all of our people out, is that they don't understand. It was at the beginning it was supposed to be honor put into this. Right? From the parents, from you choosing. But that's not happening anymore. There's not no honor in it. Right. There's not no respect in it. Right?
God.
So a lot of times you get in situations where you are the Hebrew Israelite man. You are an honorable man. And you get a woman parents because you're a Hebrew Israelite. Instead of them saying, okay, this man follows the scriptures, they won't honor that. So now you got disgruntled parents that, no, I won't allow it. Right? And vice versa.
Like Samson's parents.
Yeah.
They were like, nah. Why do you want a nation?
Yeah, why do you want this heathen?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
My oxen and my fatlings are killed.
Right. So we did feasts. There was nothing wrong with that. There was a marriage feast. Go ahead.
And all things are ready. Come into the marriage.
Right. So y'all see that, right?
God.
That there was a marriage feast. We're going through and just killing all these misconceptions that if you had them, there was a marriage feast. You did dress up. We're not going to be able to get into that night. I can finish that some other time. Or maybe I can. Go ahead, read that. Read that Judges 14 and 10.
Judges chapter 14 and verse 10.
Yeah.
So his father went down unto the woman, and Samson made there a feast. For so used the young men to do.
Right. So you see that? So Samson had a feast, but his feast wasn't one day. Read on.
And it came to pass when they saw him that they brought 30 companions to be with him.
Right. So you had the best men. You had brothers. You had your brothers there. You had your family there. Mm-hmm. You had witnesses to see it. Go ahead.
And Samson said unto them, I will now put forth a riddle unto you. If you can certainly declare it to me within the 7 days.
Oh, within what?
The 7 days.
So they had a 7-day marriage. That's a hell of a wedding feast. Yeah. You know, Israel went all out. It wasn't just one day. So, you know, they do that a little bit too when they do the marriage and then they do the honeymoon.
Yeah.
Right.
And you know, it was to also, you know what it was to do also? It was to show us what we were getting into, but it was to show everybody else that this was your wife, this was your husband, to prevent that, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
And you just slip and fall on them. You slip and fall in their bed.
Yeah.
How you didn't know you was at their wedding.
Right.
You were here for 7 days. How you can't use that excuse, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So it was a sign also for everyone to know, oh, that's that person's wife. Don't deal with her.
Right. So I know some of you newlyweds in here, you're getting excited. You finna get your husband a nice ring.
7 days.
You're thinking, man, I can't wait to get on my knees to my husband and tell him he needs to be mine. You know, but take your time. Take your time. I know some of y'all are ready for the marriage. You're like, man, Israelites got married. All right.
7 days,
7-day feast. Right?
Take a year to cheer up.
Yeah, nah.
Right?
that was
funny. I was actually reading that. I was reading that yesterday. I was reading.
That was when you went to war.
That's when you went to war.
Our spiritual warfare.
Spiritual warfare.
I got it. Yeah, you take that year off and Yahweh Shai come back. Right? Let the dead bury the dead. Let the. You know what I mean? Let them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
All right. So, we had marriage feasts. Y'all see that, right?
Come on.
Now, how did we dress? Go to Jeremiah 2 verse 23. Jeremiah 2 verse 23. Then we're going to go back to Ezekiel 16 and 8. How did we dress? We feasted. We ate. You see that in Tobias. You see that with Yahweh Shai. We know that, and I didn't throw it in there. We know the first day he had the first time he did the first miracle was at a wedding. Right? All right. He turned water into wine.
So did.
All right, go to Jeremiah 2:23, Ezekiel 16 and 8. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 23. How canst thou say, I am not?
Jeremiah 2 and 32, excuse me.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 32.
Go ahead.
Can a maid forget her ornaments?
What?
Can a maid forget her ornaments?
Read.
Or a bride her attire?
Why? Because when you came before the altar, when you came before your people, you were dressed up. You had ornaments. You had jewelry. You had all these things to make you look beautiful. It was nothing wrong with that. You see this? Now, was it about the flesh? No. You see, was it all about the carnal? No. It was honor. It wasn't all about you. No, it was all about y'all. But that's how marriage is now these days. It's all about the women. It's all about you bowing and begging to the woman.
Yeah, you breaking the bank 30 grand.
Yeah.
On the bar. Another 30 on the food. Another 10 on the venue. Another 10 on the honeymoon. You come out bankrupt.
We didn't read about what is it? What's the night before? You get married? They do in America.
The bachelor party.
We didn't read about bachelor's party.
Yeah, the strippers and
strippers, hoes, and male.
Yeah,
we didn't read about that.
Women strippers.
You see that? That's not in the scriptures. Y'all get that?
Yeah.
There ain't no bachelor party.
Yeah, there ain't no nights. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Yeah, none of that. The last night, the girl be walking around trying to pop somebody in the club while they put dollars on her breasts.
Yeah, the dude is like, I gotta sow my royal oats.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking like that.
Like the last night is all gonna happen? That's madness, man. It's foolishness. Go ahead.
God. Or a bride her attire.
Read.
Yet my people have forgotten me days without number.
Right. See? So go from there, go to 16 and 8. Let's get a little more in depth on how the woman dressed. Go ahead and read that. How the woman dressed at the wedding. We know they had on attire because he just said it. So the bride forget her attire? Well, she's just going to come not ready, not prepared, not beautiful. Right? It's going to tell us a little bit more in here. Read.
Ezekiel chapter 16, verse 8.
Go ahead.
Now when I pass by thee.
Right? Talking about, remember, this is talking about Israel. But he's saying it in parable form when he married us. When he seed us and married us and called us his wife, what did he do? Go ahead.
And looked upon thee. Behold, thy time was the time of love.
And that's really it. When you look at your wife, right? You look at her in a time of love. And that's why you got to get to know her. That's why you got to get time to be betrothed to her. That's why you got to get time to spend with her. Go ahead.
Not the year?
Huh?
You don't get the year?
You don't get the year, bro. Don't come with that year madness up in here. You're married to Christ first, your rib second. Go ahead.
God.
And I spread my skirt over thee. And covered thy nakedness.
Right?
Yeah, I swear unto thee.
I what?
I swear unto thee.
You see that again? To enter into this covenant, you have an oath with each other. And that's where they get those vows from.
Yeah, the wedding vows.
The wedding vows, because you swear unto each other. Yes, I promise to hold you, to hug you, to slug you, all that stuff, right?
Yeah, death do us part.
To death, that's where they get that from. Because you become, the slug was a joke, calm down.
But and you know, that's why I know you pulled it earlier, that Hebrews 13, marriage is honorable and all.
Yeah.
But now as you break down the process, and mind you, I haven't been here for the whole class, but it got me reflecting.
Yeah.
Just on the whole process, and you see where the Most High honors
the
process of, picking the bride. And
I'm gonna have to set up too. See, I got a lot of work to be done. I gotta take my 2 years.
Yeah.
No, I'm messing with you. Go ahead.
And entered into a covenant with thee.
You hear it again? What happens? You enter into a contract. Class, when was that contract made? With the what?
Parents.
With the parents. The what, Aria? The parents. He's the only one here in class. It was with the what class?
Parents.
It was with the parents. You entered into the contract. I'm going to say it again. Was it with the judge? No. Was it with the courthouse? No. Was it with the city of Houston? No. The contract was with the parents. So you write up, the priest is supposed to write up the contract. An Israelite priest. Which one? Oh, in Tobit? Yeah. No, we didn't go. You know what? We didn't go to that one. Dang. Yeah. I should have added that one. We're at it. Find it and we're at it. Yeah. We're added up. Y'all know where to add it in your notes. Because we're at the point of apparel. How the women dress. Go ahead.
And the Lord said the Lord God. And thou becamest mine.
Right.
Then washed I thee with water.
Read.
Yeah, I thoroughly washed away thy blood from thee.
Read.
And I anointed thee with oil. I clothed thee also with broidered work.
Right, and that's why when you go to where's that in Daniel about the women bathing in oils for a year?
That was Esther. She did that.
Esther, right? Before they were brought to the king, what would happen? What happened with these women? They were purified. You see that? You weren't just gonna sleep with your man that night and be stinky and sweaty from the from everything the day before, right? You were gonna be clean. You were gonna be prepared. You was gonna be anointed. Y'all get this? Go ahead.
And saw thee with badger skin. And I girded thee about with fine linen.
Right, I girded thee with what?
With fine linen.
Right. Go to Esther 2 verse 12. Yeah, Zion already had it.
Esther chapter 2 verse 12.
Zion he was on it quicker than you are. Nah, bro, you don't want to go to war with this guy. Nah, bro, he's sharp. That's what you. Go to Esther 2 verse 12.
Esther chapter 2 verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Now when every maid's turn was come to go in to King Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months.
Yeah, it's a year. She had been 12 months. Go ahead.
According to the manner of women, for so were the days of their purifications accomplished.
Right.
To wit, 6 months with oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors.
Because oil and myrrh cleanses you.
Myrrh is actually antibiotic.
Yeah, myrrh is an antibiotic. You know what I mean? When my rib she was having problems having a baby. Bathing that herb, or that myrrh.
The myrrh.
I'm not going to say the myrrh did it. All I know is this, that she got pregnant after she did the myrrh. I ain't going to lie. I was like, listen, do this, this, and this. She followed it. The Most High blessed her. She followed what I said and it blessed her. I'm not going to say it was totally the myrrh because I know it was the Most High. But the Most High blessed her after how many? 13 years of not being able to have a child. So, the myrrh cleanses you out, and then the sweet smells will come back in and make your sweet smell. Right? Now, when's the last time any woman you know bathed herself to where she smells sweet? You see how we did it in the ancient days?
God.
Right? She, like I said, she jumping on you, then she sneak out and she what? She has sex with you because you the side nigga. You the side piece. At work, right? And then she go home to what? Her real man.
Yeah, because they just talking. She told me that they was just talking. What's your relationship status? It's complicated.
Right, yeah. Or we're roommates. We're really not together, but we are, but you still having sex with him.
Because we got a baby.
Right, but then you go and sleep with this other guy. It's chaotic, man. It's whorism. Whorism, man. Go ahead. So jump back to Ezekiel 16.
Before you go there, let me give you this one in Tobit.
Yeah.
This is about the contract. You can add this in right before. What was the next point you went to before the contract?
The contract. Yeah, add this to the contract.
You can let this be the last one out in the contract. It's Tobit 7:13.
So,
go ahead.
Tobit chapter 7 and verse 13.
Uh-huh.
Then he called his daughter, Sarah.
Uh-huh.
And she came to her father.
Go ahead.
And he took her by the hand.
Right, so this is where the father...
that one. Right.
This is where the father is giving her away.
Right.
Go ahead.
And gave her to be wife to Tobias.
Go ahead.
Saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses.
After your lust?
After the law of Moses.
Just take her, divorce her, give her away?
After the law of Moses.
We jumped ahead. I had that.
Did you have it?
That was my last one. Because at the end, no, don't worry about it. Because at the end, you got the parents sets up, right? You got the parents do the dowry, right? Then after you do the dowry, you have the marriage feast.
Oh, okay.
Then after you have the marriage, during the marriage feast, you're getting ready, right? You're getting ready, you're prepared, you're in your marriage clothes, right? And then after that, you what? You come before everybody during this feast.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Or I should say, you come before everybody and then the feast.
Right.
Right?
And then the chamber.
And then the chamber. Right? I didn't put the chamber in there though. I left that one out.
That's important.
I didn't put the chamber one yet.
That's important.
I left that out. I mean, we get that. That's the consummation.
Yeah, that's the consummation.
I didn't want to put that in there. But
and even Tobias's marriage, when you read in 11 and 9, it lasted 7 days also.
Right. So finish reading on.
Go ahead.
God, saying, behold, take her after the law of Moses,
right,
and lead her away to thy father. And he blessed them. And called Edna his wife, and took paper, and did write an instrument of covenants, and sealed it.
Right. So you see how that's being reiterated in Ezekiel 16 and all the ones we went over already about entering into this contract. It is a contract that you're entering into. But I keep saying it is not the courthouse, it's not the judge, because a lot of people think, if you ain't got it with the white man, then it's not certified. It's that they don't certify it. It's the Most High. It's the priest of the Most High. Y'all get that?
Yeah. And most importantly, it said he took her after the law of Moses. It wasn't after the law of the land. It wasn't after what some priest said. It was after what the Most High laid down.
Yeah. Right. Right. Go there too. Tobit 8 and 6.
Tobit chapter 8 and verse 6.
Y'all can add this one after the one after Genesis we just went over. Yep. Genesis 2. Yep. Go ahead.
Con, thou madest Adam and gavest him Eve, his wife, for an helper and stay. Of them came mankind. That thou hast said, it is not good that man should be alone. Let us make unto him an aid, like unto himself.
Come on.
Verse 7. And now, O Lord, I take not this my sister.
Yeah, because before he just laid with her, before he, just did whatever he wanted to, he did what the law said, man. Go to the father, and deal with it righteously. Because first she's a what?
My sister.
Yeah, she's not your little pink cushion. She's a sister in Christ. Read.
For lust.
Yeah, he don't take her for lust, man. That's why he didn't. That's why he strove lawfully. He went as the laws of Moses. He did things accordingly. He didn't go outside the box. He was inside the box. Read.
But uprightly.
Yeah, and uprightly was within the law. Was within how his customs was. What his fathers did. His fathers did. Read.
Therefore, mercifully ordained that we may become aged together.
Yeah, man. They followed it lawfully so that they could live forever. Like y'all said earlier in class when they talked about whatever the Most High puts together, who can separate it? Why? Because they don't want to be separated. They know who they're dealing with. They understand this is a covenant between them and the Most High. This is forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
Right? Yeah.
Read.
Verse 8. And she said with him.
No, he said.
And she said with him.
Come on.
Amen.
Yeah, because they in agreement. It ain't like, you my wife. Hold on. I'm your who?
Right. You don't own me.
I'm your who?
Yeah, you don't own me. I own you now. Right? You're mine.
Read this scripture right here.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're my possession.
Right.
You don't know that?
Exactly. Jump back. Finish at Ezekiel 16 and 8. Yeah.
Ezekiel chapter 16 and verse 8.
Where you left off at? Is it 8 or where you at 9?
That was 9.
Go ahead. 9.
Then washed I thee with water.
Right.
Yea, I thoroughly washed thee away thy blood from thee.
Right.
And I anointed thee with oil.
Read.
I clothed thee also with broidered work.
So you see that? So the when you go to this marriage, yes, you will be decked out. You will be in your marriage clothes, your wedding apparel. Go ahead.
And shod thee with badger skin. And I girded thee about with fine linen.
Right.
And I covered thee with silk. I decked thee also with ornaments. And I put bracelets upon thy hand, and a chain on thy neck. And I put a jewel on thy forehead, and earrings in thine ear, and beautiful crown upon thy head.
Right. So y'all get this, right? That yes, we were decked out when we went before the marriage. When we were cleaned up, when you and her made the covenant with each other, yeah, you did dress nice. So there was nothing wrong with that. Oh, last one, Isaiah 61 and 10. Just to show you again that
Isaiah chapter
the marriage of the bride and the marriage of the bridegroom, you guys were decked, you were dressed nice, you had beautiful apparel on. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 61 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyfully in my God.
Go ahead.
For he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation.
Go ahead.
He hath covered me with a robe of righteousness.
Read.
As a bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments.
You see that? So he was decked out. The bridegroom was decked out with ornaments. Go ahead.
And a bride ordaineth herself with her jewels.
Adorneth herself with Jews. So y'all see that, right?
God.
That the bride and the bridegroom, what? They were decked out.
Draped out, dripped out.
They look good. You know, our people do that. They just that now it's so much more carnal, and all the other steps don't go with it. So it is nothing but carnal. About money, about the outward appearance, right?
Or just about the ceremonial.
About the ceremonial part.
Like, yeah, we're gonna drop 50 racks on a wedding and then only be together for the next 6 months.
Yeah.
That's our people. The outward, it's about that outward appearance, that outward adorning. Yeah, we about to have a destination wedding, girl. We about to go on the beach. We're gonna be in Jamaica. Blah 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 blah. We're gonna invite people all the way to Jamaica and make them get passports.
You know all the words.
Yeah, but that's what it is. Destination wedding. Right? But then guess what? Your marriage don't go past 6 months.
Yeah.
It's like, why you make us do all that Jamaica stuff? Get passports. So it's for our people, man. That outward, we gotta look more on that inward.
Right. Yeah, man. So y'all got that, right? All y'all brothers that trying to get married. Did anybody got any questions on that online?
Con, we have 3 questions online.
What do we got?
Someone asked about the wedding ring.
Uh-huh.
It's okay if they still wear it.
Yeah, the once again, as we just read, they had Jews, they had ornaments, they were decked out. You know what I mean? So remember how they use. A lot of people think that we didn't have earrings, we didn't have chains. We wore those things. The thing is that the heathen, they use it for other purposes. They make other symbolism for it. They made it a staple in the marriage. Like when they say, with this ring I thee wed. Right? That's not in there. But could you wear rings? Yes, you could wear rings. But I haven't read with this ring I thee wed. Yeah.
So like it's not a necessity that you wear a ring to show that you're married.
Show me that and I would. You see what I'm saying? It said they were both decked out. You hear that last scripture? Isaiah 61, he said he was decked, the bridegroom was decked out, and the woman was decked out. So it wasn't no ring that was our custom. Did you wear rings? But yes, not in the sense of with this ring I thee wed.
Like this is a symbol of our love.
Yeah.
And without this ring, where like you watch like TV shows, the husband lose the wedding ring and the wife flips out, like the marriage is over because he lost the ring. Like,
right.
That's not dependent on your marriage or ring. You marry in the eyes of the Most High if you're doing it the right way. Like you said, that ring, when you go into the custom of the ring and they use the different metals, you said the heathen, right?
Yeah.
They distort things.
Yeah.
They use those different metals and different stones to symbolize their stature. It wasn't even about love. It was about how high of a stature I am in society. So if I could give my wife platinum and gold, think about it. Who gives their wife diamond rings?
Yeah.
And like 5 carats. Not no regular dude out in the streets, right? Who's the last dude that's regular that gave his wife a 5, 6, 8 carat ring? You always hear about what? Celebrities. Will Smith and Kobe Bryant gave his wife a 9 carat pink diamond, right? Who could afford that? Right, so it's all about, they do it, the heathen, they do it for stature. I remember we read earlier, it said that we gave gifts.
Yeah.
Right, we gave jewels and we gave ring, we gave things.
You go back to that Ezekiel, they had more than just rings, they had a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And so, I can see us giving these things and then the white man doing what? America, tradition of other nations, distorting it and adding with this ring ID wed when it shouldn't be with this ring ID wed. It should be just like when we read in Tobit.
With this law.
With this law ID wed.
Right.
I'm bound to these laws and commandments that the Most High. You see how everything with us should go back to the scriptures as opposed to what America told us. So, like I said, unless I missed something, I didn't, in all my reading, I didn't find nothing on the ring. I found Jews, we were decked out, but you never read that. So, all right, what else?
Someone asked a question regarding Judah and Tamar in Genesis 38. Was it against the law for him to pay for sex? If Israelite man pays for sex, is this against the law?
Who asked that?
Tina.
Yes, it's against the law for the Israelite man to pay for sex, because when the law came, we read it. Go back to Leviticus. Sorry about my reaction on that.
Leviticus chapter 19 and verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter.
Right.
To cause her to be a whore.
Right. So, yeah, you don't supposed to prostitute your daughter. And if you rewind the beginning of the class, we also went over fornicators and whoremongers. Right? Let's go back there. Hebrews 13 and 4? Go there real quick. Just to remind us that we know what was okay. There was a lot of things, there was some things that were okay in the ancient days. We married close family members. He cut that off when the law came, right? So, yeah, there were certain things done that was okay, but then when the law came, he was like, okay, we're gonna cut that out. That's no more. All right, read that.
Hebrews chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
Right, marriage is honorable in all. Go ahead.
And the bed undefiled.
Go ahead.
But whoremongers.
But what?
Whoremongers.
But a whoremonger is when we read it.
God, monger.
Monger.
A person who promotes a specified activity, situation, or feeling.
Right. So you're promoting prostitution and going with whores. Read.
And adulterers, the Most High will judge.
See, the Most High is not with that. So, yeah, the Most High is. We know what he did, but we know what the law came back and put a stop to it. All right.
Time.
What else?
Someone asked, how often should we pray with our wives?
Pray without ceasing. Like anytime you can get with your rib, pray. And I try to do it in my household as possible. We be like right now, we're in class. My ribs didn't make it to class today, so when I go home, they might be asleep, but they should know before they lay down. The kids should have prayed, and all of them should have prayed at 9 o'clock before the kids lay down. So I might not have made it, so they might still be asleep. But when I am there, I'm trying to get to pray with them as much as possible. So the scriptures say pray without ceasing. That's what you establish in your household. You want your rib to pray, make her establish her prayer, but as a body, as a family, you guys got to pray together. You should. A family that prays together. Let me stop. And hit him with the Esau slogan. But it's true though. Even though it's an Esau slogan, you know what I mean? They got it on T-shirts and all that stuff. It is true. You pray together. There's a bond. There's a unity. That happens. All right. What else? Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate y'all, brothers and sisters. Hopefully that was edifying. We're gonna be here for the Shabbat. All right. So if you got more questions on this topic or we missed something, just bring it back. All right. So say shalom, everybody.
Shalom.
We'll see y'all on the Shabbat.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the Son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed.